That's forbidden.
Oh,
That's
no.
untouchable.
Yes, that's for nope, write it down. I'm gonna
He's
start
gonna get
making a
me.
list. Stop it.
Oh, when you wrote it down, he doesn't seem to care.
I know he doesn't care. I have no power over Lucas.
Clearly.
At least you know that.
And
everybody.
We're live.
We're back
no power
from
over
our
Lucas.
break. What has it been? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
I think it was 3 weeks.
I thought it was
a
out of
weird
the
thing.
podcast world, but then I was on the Reptile Fight Club holiday show. So that's fun.
You got to go on there. I assume my invitation will be arriving shortly.
Well, they had to choose between you and Ron St. Pierre. Guess who won?
Oh yeah, let's
insulted.
Actually,
I'm insulted, but I also agree.
Let's talk about who won
yes.
at the Reptile Fight Club holiday.
Yes.
Okay. I have not listened yet.
It's
Yes.
me.
Lucas won.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
What did he win?
Yes.
I logged in. I forgot that it happened, and I logged in at like the hour 30 mark, and Justin was like, "And we're about to start the trivia," and I was like, "Yes!" And I won the trivia.
Best at trivia. Let's go.
Well, I
think
think
when
could
it-
type faster than everyone else.
He's got that Gen Z hand motion.
They start training at a young age, like
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Now that I already have the poster, I'll admit, like I was fast enough to Google the answers multiple times before anybody entered anything.
You did.
Oh yeah, I don't
Lucas,
know the
that is-
geckos.
Lucas, that is cheating.
He looked
I-
whatever.
whatever.
Justin's
I was
gonna have to
very
come and
proud.
put an asterisk on your poster.
I literally was like, all rattlesnakes of Arizona.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Well,
it's good
I
to be
come
back.
from a generation where we had Mavis Beacon in 3rd grade it measured your words per minute, and you had to like type faster.
You didn't have
than...
Super Mario typing? I mean, what the hell?
No, it was like you had to type the word, and then it would like their games. So like you type the word correctly, it'll like scan your grocery and put it in your bag. It's like kid-friendly activities, kid-friendly fun.
They made games, and then you were accidentally learning. Got it.
Yeah.
Eric was about to say good to be back, but every time Owen says something,
That's always negative. He's one of those negative reptile people.
Listen. This has been the formula that has worked for 12 seasons. Why are you trying to buck the train?
12 seasons. Jeez,
12 seasons,
Lord.
14 seasons. I don't know how long it is.
Yeah.
is fuck
12.
the train a saying?
I don't know.
Choo-
I think
choo-
it's a John
choo.
Mayer song, right?
It's got to be somewhere, right?
Yeah, so this is episode 70. We're back. Our coffee.
Wow. Wow. 10 more episodes and it'll be Eric's age.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God.
In March.
Yeah.
Hey man, I look pretty goddamn good for 80.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You can keep up there. You can keep up with the youngsters out in Australia.
Yeah.
Just joshing. You're a
It's
spring
gonna be
chicken.
fun. It's gonna be fun later on in life when it's like Rob and Eric and their rascal scooters like hunting for snakes. So I think I see
We've
one
already
there.
talked about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Start
skip the
scone.
line to get on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Free
right.
boarding. I can't
That's
walk.
right. Oh man. So how was everybody's holiday? Good?
Oh, and you go first.
It was all right. I mean, I tried to. When you don't have NPR, you get rammy and you get punchy, and you're like, I don't know what to do with my hands. So I ended up like doing more stuff downstairs. I actually designed and
shit.
printed cage cards for all the snakes downstairs.
Okay.
By just designing them in
Are these the
PowerPoint.
ones that you had with the picture on it? And
Oh
all
yeah,
that kind
they're
of
like so
stuff?
much better now.
Yeah.
Like
they were pretty sharp.
I designed them in PowerPoint and then I converted them all to images and then I took them to Walmart who printed them on like photo things and then I had them laminated and now they're all in the room, which is awesome. But that I did that because I was bored. It's like, I know where all the animals are. I know who's who, but
Right.
Melissa kept complaining about it, so I did that, and then it just was from the perspective of working with some of the pairings that I got going this year. Just kind of seeing where everybody was at. I put the false water cobra together the other day.
How'd that go?
Well, I haven't done it because I was like nervous as hell. And I'm like, okay, we can only do a certain pair that we need to keep an eyeball on at a time. And the Karibo haven't killed each other.
I'm not a colubrid guy here, so I'm playing stupid. Are they like, did they go after each other? Is that's why you're worried?
They can.
They can. Okay.
I would say, from what I've learned talking with Zach, they'll eat anything that fits, but they're not like obligate snake feeders. You know,
I also just don't want them to hurt each other because they seem like they're like a little bit more twitchy. So I
just colubrid breeder now, man.
Plus also this is my
when I introduced my male, the female did grab him because their motion sensing.
It's like right in on. So,
yeah,
and this is also my first
king
year.
Snakes do that too, right? They grab
king snakes will.
That's on purpose for mating, right?
It is, but sometimes you gotta watch because my male
my girl was just like,
the female was like, duh! It moves, it dies. Like it's
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Cali Kings will bite the female around the neck, but you have to watch because some males get so aggressive with that shit, they'll tear up the entire female's neck. I had a male that was so aggressive with that she had teeth marks down almost halfway down her back, and then he was stupid, so he bit her other places as well. So I just want to keep eyeballs on it.
Breeding. Yeah,
I know
skink breedings like that. Like
so I just wanted to see them. So
nothing happened.
Nothing. Well, the exact opposite happened. Breeding. So
that's a good thing. But I mean, like they didn't kill each other. Right?
They did not. So I put him in there.
I'm sorry, Owen. It's been a while. I'm ramming. I'm asking questions. You're not even getting a chance to talk. I apologize.
Keep going. I need to get back into fighting shape. So keep going. It's good. It's feedback.
Right. That's right. Hook.
But so I put him in there, and he immediately did. When colubrids are kind of together, and I think some pythons too, they'll kind of do head jerking motions and stuff like that when they get excited. He was all over her in 5 fucking seconds, locking up, and I'm like, okay, good enough. So now they're over there, and they're not killing each other. The next pair is the Chinese king rats, so that'll be the next ones I'll put together. So
that is a species, the water cobras that will definitely just lock for the sport of it.
I know.
I've heard a lot of stories of not to say that you're not going to produce them.
You're like, you're
doing great. But I think it's Riley told me he knew of some pairs.
Listen, I've had carpets. I've had carpets lock and then no eggs, so I believe anything will do it. It's fine. But
I think my first 3 seasons were like that.
Exactly. It's like I've seen locks out of rough scales and have
8,
nothing.
and 9.
Yeah. It's fine. So I'm gonna see how that one goes. Now my pair are also pretty young, and this is their first time going. So you know, we're tossing it up. We're kind of seeing, but if nothing happens, I'm not going to be horribly upset.
Okay.
He says that now.
They said that now. When it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
So when is it? Usually about February, beginning of March. Owen will say, I don't think I'm getting anything this year.
Shut up. Shut up.
And then 3 weeks later,
there are so many eggs.
God! What's that little skit? 3 weeks later.
A small moment of time later. Yeah, it's
years
I did pair the blackface white lip. I opened up their tunnel.
You did? Okay.
Yep. And they were canoodling with each other, and now I think they're doing like what the Team Wars did, where all of a sudden they're both over here, one's over here, they're kind of all over the place. So that's cool. Yeah.
It sounds like you had a fantastic reptile-filled vacation, holiday break.
Yes, and my wife got me
sick
several
the whole goddamn time with the flu.
My wife got me several reptile books because she knows me.
Oh yeah, what you got?
She got me the giant snakes from Tom Crutchfield.
Okay.
So that one, and then she also got me the Asian rat snakes and their kin. That book that I've been drooling over.
That's perfect for a colubrid guy.
I hate you, Lucas.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
Liar,
I have to
liar.
step. I have to step up and get a. I have to step up and do another like off the cuff Python thing in order to keep my
Python
clout.
cred?
Otherwise, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Timors.
Yeah, do it already.
Yeah,
I
do it,
can't. I
you
can't.
son of a
I can't,
bitch.
I can't do it. I can't do it this year. I cannot do it this year. I do not have a female ready.
Hey, Eric.
Read poor Lucas a strophe, would you? God damn it.
I don't do what?
Find one and
Find
make
one,
them make
figure
babies.
out how to do it, breed it, and then get back to me. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if anybody has Stropurus, I'll give you whatever you want.
You know, did
Go
you
for-
try talking to Frank from Reptilian Diaries?
Nope. Who dat?
I know he
Eric.
I know he has one.
Get
Oh,
Eric,
yes.
get one, and then
I will
leverage the
send you his
blackhead.
link.
So
What's get one and give it to
Get
her
one and then
blackhead?
leverage the blackhead. Yeah, yeah. We have two. We want the blackhead.
Yes.
what
You can
blackhead?
have this.
want
You
my
know
blackhead?
which one. You
Yes.
know which one I want.
That's Owen number 1 up there. Mean Owen. This is Owen number 2. Friendly Owen.
That looks
Lucas.
nothing like me.
You're doing a great job and you're never fired.
That look. First off, that looks nothing like me, and I am insulted, sir.
New year, new Owen.
Yeah, if I ever shave.
All right, sorry.
Python
Robert.
street cred. Whoa, Python street cred back. Where did it go?
You lose it after the year, bro.
What do you mean you lose it after the year?
Stay there.
What the fuck
Oh,
have you
no,
been
no, no,
doing?
It's like a
no, no,
fishing
no, no.
license. You have
You
to
have
go
to-
to
oh,
your
man, you
nearest
gotta-
big
you gotta
5
re-up
and
that
renew
shit.
it.
Whoa, whoa.
What do you
I
think,
think
the cred's been in the shitter as of
No,
late?
no, I
'Cause I haven't bred in like 3 years. I got
think-
no cred no more, man.
No, listen. I think it depends on what you
Have any
bred.
stake
Okay,
in most people's mind.
if it depends on what you bred. If you bred something like carpets and stuff like that, yeah, okay, you got to re-up every year. But if you had something a
No.
little bit on the rarer side,
Sorry.
you can
No.
re-year it.
No.
What?
Nah.
It's not like a car registration where
Nope.
now I can do 3 years.
No. This
Bullshit.
isn't Jim Morgantown rules, man. It's not how it rolls.
Jim from Morgantown rules apply to nothing at all, ever.
So I ordered an NPR calendar and I got this.
Wait a
Snakes
minute.
of Pennsylvania.
Wait a minute. We
On
didn't do that.
It's like they knew I
Like
lived
you don't
here.
want this crappy, ass Python calendar. Here's a calendar of snakes of Pennsylvania. Oh,
Actually pretty cool.
I mean, that's the problem. Is you're just like, oh, no,
No, I
this
don't
is
know.
better.
Somebody sent it to me. I don't send it to me, but thank you. I don't know.
All right, start marking them off the list.
Yeah, I thought maybe I could find one each month. You know what I mean? Come on, Rob, and Jason's in there too. Yeah, we gotta check these off as we go through. You know, by the time
it's a
Nipper gets
copperhead
here in the
check.
summertime.
Yeah,
I didn't get a Pennsylvania copperhead though. Yes, I did.
I did.
Yeah, Jim Fall or Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, that I don't. What is no?
Eastern. It kind of looks like his sock. Oh, look, it's got a beard now. Oh dear, oh dear.
I demand if you're going to slight me by making a sock puppet, I demand a better puppet.
Yeah, we need to.
You think we have the budget for a better puppet?
you're
Look at the
correct.
size of your head.
We just got 1,000 subscribers. We should open the budget to get a better puppet.
There's
Wow,
no money.
1,000
in the budget.
subs. We're
There's no money that's
we
gone.
made the big
Okay.
time.
Yep.
We're big time now. Watch out.
Yep.
Hi, Riley.
How about you, Luke? It sounded you.
We're
how
start
was your
selling,
holiday?
pillows and mattresses now on YouTube. Go on.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I might have a head
Pillows
injury.
and
Keep going.
mattresses, things that you sleep on. You know what else people sleep on?
It's called a bed.
Asperities.
Oh, nice.
I mean, there was that photo
Ah.
of you breeding that
There's
blackhead
gonna
to
be
that
a lot
Loma.
of photos of me breeding things because I've already got 2 Woma ovulations. And
Damn.
it's January
Wow.
6th. Oh, it's January 6th. R.I.P.
So
Um,
no wonder Jim was in my feed.
There it is. Now we know.
so instead of hanging Mike Pence, we're hanging our name on a project. And that project is Orange Womas.
Yeah,
And I'm just really good at podcasting today.
Doing a great job.
Anyway, yeah. Holidays were good. Nobody got sick. I had COVID last Christmas, so I actually got to do Christmas this year, which is very nice.
Mm.
And
Nice.
I've survived the bomb cyclone event so far.
Did you see an
Yeah.
uptick in breeding of your paired creatures?
Hell
when that was
yeah!
happening?
I
All right,
put
That's what I was
good.
gonna ask, yeah.
everything together
Good.
when it was just absolute deluge, flooded streets. Oh yeah, they do like it.
Yes. Very
Yes,
Okay.
they do.
Okay. No, I am not. We're on the other side of the country.
How about you, Luke? Pomona?
It's Lucas. His name is Lucas.
Luke's
Luke?
cool. A lot of my
No,
family
What did I
calls
say?
me
no,
Luke.
no, forbid it.
Did they
My
say Luke?
parents
Oh,
call
my
me
bad.
Luke.
Forbidden.
I think I was in the Star Wars mode or something. I don't know.
Jason, what is this comment? What's happening over you? Over with you? Anyway, no, I do not intend to go to Southern California.
Gonna have to
Yeah, I don't
skip
blame
the
you.
Pomona. Yeah,
It's quite a hike. I keep thinking that you guys are like, like together.
California is a very long state.
Although if I wanted
Yeah.
to right now, I could probably just put out a kayak and see where the streets take me.
The weather is
I-
really crazy out
I
there.
don't think that's the best of ideas. Maybe put that as plan like C.
The thing is, it's really funny. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, we needed this. We so needed this. The drought, she's over." But like, our infrastructure is not even at all designed to collect any of this except for what happens to fall in a reservoir.
Well,
Like,
now
we
my
only
thinking,
collect the snowpack, so it's all just washing out into the bay. It doesn't
well,
matter.
my thing is now it's like even with the
Oh,
amount of
wow.
rain that you're getting, is that going to impact all the months of drought?
I saw
Sorry,
that the
all the
reservoirs
years
went from
of
like
drought.
40% to like 42%.
Yay! Buying another week. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's really more bad than good, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Like,
oh yeah,
like that?
this kind of rain.
yeah.
Anybody
like-
going to Pomona, I do need ring pythons and male Vietnamese blue beauty.
Mm.
There you go.
I think Brandon is going to be vending, if I'm not mistaken, or he's going to be at a table, right, Brandon?
I mean, Brandon might just steal a table. I mean, how often do they really watch all the tables? I mean, come on.
Do they watch all the tables? No, they don't. They don't pay attention.
You can just set up. They'll just believe that you're supposed to be there. Be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
breeding season is going good, all that kind of
Full
stuff. Yeah, I
swing.
mean, I've seen some action, some Russian red tiger action.
Yes. Yes. Nothing else matters. I don't care about anything else now.
Okay, fair enough. Then we'll just move on.
I have
I
some?
do like diamonds. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Can I have
fine.
some?
What, Russian red tigers?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. Still waiting on that box.
Look, Stone's here.
Mr. Stone is here.
Hi, Bobby.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Oh shit, we should actually talk about coffee. We didn't do that.
Oh yeah, damn it!
I did get I did get a really a good coffee. I quite liked it. I had it earlier as a nice espresso. It is called Common Voice Compass. It's really good. It's light medium roast and has a I don't know. It was really smooth. It's from Nashville, Tennessee. That's what I've been drinking.
I have
Delicious.
I have reinvigorated my addiction to
Coffee?
iced coffee. Mhm.
Yeah.
With our own MPR blend of brewing it and icing it, and I usually have that in the morning to keep me alive. So I've now jumped back onto the caffeine addicted, coffee addicted bandwagon
back,
that
my
I
friend.
missed. I missed it. So
Well,
my
Now
hands,
you're
Can't
really
wait
on
there.
the
my
pod.
hands
I can't
stop
wait to
shaking. It's awesome. Like, I don't think I could ever leave again. Like, I think that no. So
finally, I have a coffee brother on the herp trips.
great. Just
We'll be
I'm
like,
just like,
come
oh,
on, guys, what are you doing?
sweet,
Go!"
sweet nectar of the gods. If it's like,
Yes, the nectar
so.
of the gods.
Yep.
By the way, we do have a Carpets and Coffee blend over on Cold Blooded Caffeine. Schmitty's in the
Lucas, come
house.
on.
What's up?
Lucas, come on. There it is.
There it
Good
is.
job, Lucas.
Yep. Very good.
Product placement. Yep.
We'll get this at some point.
No, we won't.
You are so
Rob, have
right.
you tried this yet?
Rob? No.
Rob?
Have you tried
I
the
tried
coffee?
it? No.
Yes.
I did not get a sample.
And
What?
you also did not take initiative.
You didn't buy your own. All right, yeah, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Fair play. He's a
Yeah, I think
firecracker
I think
tonight. I
that's
hope
fine.
you're ready, Bob Rock.
Yeah.
I'm on a new year, new me. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, I like
You're
it.
on to something. Yeah.
Or is it the what
That
is
Mike
it?
Pence
What's
pun
the-
from
the
earlier
phrase?
is
The
just all-
river, atmospheric rivers or whatever got you going, or what, dude?
Bomb cyclone. I'm actually a survivor, so
Oh, yes. The
Uh,
survivor of the bomb cyclone.
I didn't mark myself safe on Facebook yet, but
Damn
we're
it.
okay. We're okay.
Good to know.
At least somebody wants to know what I'm breeding since I haven't bred in 3 years. 2
Hold
years.
on. Let me
1
guess.
year. I
A
don't know.
couple
about
pairs
years.
of IJs, the coastals
Actually?
I told you to, diamonds,
Can you guess?
Inlands.
inlands.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Poison ivy stuff.
That's
Uh-huh.
a couple IJ things. That fits all
How
in there.
dare you, sir?
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
not
sorry,
just a
I did
couple
it. Yep,
IJ
I
things.
did it. Yep, that's a couple
That's like
IJ
me
things.
calling rough scales saying Golan stepsisters.
Damn.
I will accept bumpy rough scale or sorry, bumpy
ball
green tree
pythons.
python. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not breeding into your Antaresia, right?
Hypo?
You
The
know,
hypo was too small. We called that.
too small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too small.
I was going to breed
Inlands, we said.
Antaresia, but I don't know if I'm ready to go down that route. I think
Maybe
might
I
wait
think you
till
want to take a
next year.
nice easy year when you do the Antaresia.
I know.
Like,
Just
I think
although-
just them.
I do have a habit of just jumping in the deep end of things, so maybe I should just do it and call it a day. If that's the case, I could do Eastern stems and Cape Yorks. Cape York spotted.
I have a supply. I can get you frog legs, so we have that buttoned in. But
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. And to be honest with you, I think that might be too much. I think that
mean,
might be
it.
too much. I got a
You're
lot of
sitting there
herping tracks this year.
Well, you're sitting here and you're like, well, I won't hit them all, and that's usually when you do, and then you have to deal with it. So,
Oh, Darren, how did you do that? 5 clutches of Antaresia.
wow.
You're almost as crazy as the doctor.
And then Rob's got his boas, Rob's got his rhinos, and then there might be one out there that I'm not sure what Rob's doing, but
No, you're right. So
Yes.
it looks like, I don't know, maybe decent on one of those Solomon Island tree boa females, Jamaican boa, and rhinos. Yeah, that's about it.
cool.
I mean, that's mostly what I have now. Beyond the Puerto Ricans that went this past year, that's, I think, save a pair of rosy boas. That's about it.
Nice. I do need a boy. Yes. You see, when you have an adult pair together for a very, very long time and there are no eggs, you double check the sex and then you realize they're both females. I really got to start sexing things when I buy them.
I just want to put it on record. These are the snakes that Rob told you that, you might not want to get.
What? Which one? No. First off, that list is long, okay? of snakes that Rob has told me. And usually that does delay me for at least a while.
Oh, no, I'm not blue beauties. I'm thinking of
the Barons racers are what
racers,
Rob told me. I'm not sure if you want to. And yeah, those happen too. So
Yep. Okay.
I would like an adult, but I would take a sub-adult or a juvie. I could probably get a juvie up to size in a year or two. I have these 2 very beautiful adult females.
You
so.
probably could. Come on, man.
You can do it in 6 weeks. No worries, man.
I mean, I'm sitting here. Rob, what is the acceptable
I bet
size
the
for
hatchling and a large rat, no worries.
listen. Like what is the acceptable size for a Mandarin rat snake? I have a friend who wants to know because he's worried he's breaking his.
Well, it depends kind of what. So it would help to see it because there's a ton of. So they have a big range, and depending on. So the Vietnamese ones get really big or can get really big.
All right. Well, this is the female, and she's very small.
Yeah, that's more of like a sort of a standard look. I would say that that's probably going to be 3 foot as an adult, 3.5 foot, something like that.
The male is a little bit larger. He's eating hopper mice. So she's on pinkies still. So
yeah, they won't, that's probably basically like a female rhino size, maybe a good size female rhino size.
Okay.
Snake in terms of what they'll get to.
That's right. Compare them.
Ones can get really big. Yeah.
Yeah. Compare them to animals that you've already approved in my collection that are okay. Like that's all I want you to do, so I can hold them up to each other and be like, "Yep, okay, good." So.
Yeah, some of them can get really big. I definitely have seen some big ones without being problematic. I mean, the thing is, man, they'll keep a good form. So as long as they look good, then.
Well, also like Asian colubrid stuff, like their colors. Like that's just going to get bigger. It's not going to get like dull or anything. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was so afraid of them for so long.
Cool.
They're a pretty snake, that's for sure. I think out of all of the colubrids, look wise, they're probably one of my favorites.
Them and cockeye.
No, the mandarins.
I would love cockeye, but I have to stop somewhere. I have to draw a line somewhere.
Oh, and
Just
come on, they're tiny. Come on.
There's
Look
no
at that.
more.
Wait, turn around
room
right
at
up
the
on
end.
that top shelf, right above your books there. I mean, you know what I mean? You could put them right
this
there.
is already
no problem.
this is the quarantine rack. And
just keep it in quarantine forever. That'd be
I mean, that's what she's doing up here. It's like, that's what also I love about Asian rat snakes. It's like, where do I put you? Like you're fine over here. Like I don't need to do anything for you. So, yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Lisa's working for you in the comments.
Lisa, that's because Lisa's cool. Lisa helps.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
My male, I got a pair of the blue beauties in the Sacramento reptile show during the summer.
Yeah.
Male never ate, kicked the bucket.
Really?
Sold the female.
Yeah. I got mine.
Eric and I through everything, huh?
Yeah.
What?
There you go. I said Lucas is tour through everything. Holy moly, man!
Not yet.
Well, I mean, if you count things that I didn't bring home, but I took care of at work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my blue beauties when Eric and we went up to Nerd and they let us play with a cave dwelling rat snake that was just so pissed off at everything.
I love those.
And I literally went home and I'm like, cave dwelling rat snake, and there were none. And I'm like, something like a cave dwelling rat snake. And these ones are blue, sold. And yeah, so.
I wonder.
How big are yours? So your females at this point?
6 foot, maybe. They're big.
Because I mean, they can get really, really.
They're long.
Really
They don't ever look it, but like they're only about, I think maybe like that thick around. And there's nothing to them. They're like all muscle, and they are long, but they also do that slow tongue flick. And right now, because I haven't been feeding them, they are just assholes. Like they are just, I got nailed on my middle finger trying to get their water the other day. And I'm like, they are just bitches, but I feed them just like all my other big colubrid stuff. So they just eat the whole bowl of stuff and they're all good to go. So.
Are they ever not assholes? Like you frame it like this is a different condition.
When they
were nice.
Well, when they were younger, they were definitely more puffy and flary, and they did all the warning and the flat neck stuff and all that fun stuff. So now they've kind of stopped doing that, and now they just ambush from the corners. So I'm not sure which one I like better. So yes, the cave dwelling rat snake. That's what they used to do. My baby beauties used to do all that neck flare and all that fun stuff. Now they're just evil.
My female is like chill as hell.
God, that was
never
does 2016. That. Jeez.
I know.
Yeah.
So you still have that one, Lucas?
Yes. Yeah. Waiting for better shipping days.
And Lisa, you need to
You have it pending sending it out. I got you.
Indeed. But she's
Lisa,
cool.
you have one less male, Lisa. You need to put that aside so that I can send you a gold and we would be happy. Okay, so
Wait,
you have-
Lisa, you have a bunch?
no, she has one. She has one less. So yeah,
Do I have a bunch of anything you would want in trade?
Lisa, go for the blackhead. He'll never give it up.
He doesn't have a bunch of them.
Not
No.
yet.
But soon.
I hope so.
Well, I was going to show out. Did you see that Joanne Payne and her family were camping, and they actually found? I thought this is so cool. They found a hacky. I thought that was badass.
God damn.
Right?
I mean, that's a calendar photo.
It's still
Yeah.
loading for me.
Rob would still be
No.
taking his
Wow.
picture. Yeah.
Rob, how hard do you think it is for that to get that picture of them? I mean, are you doing that's got to be from far away? No,
Somebody's got its tail, and then somebody else like Owen is over here doing this so that it
That's
constantly
possible
looks at
'cause it
him.
is kind of up, but
Yeah, it's pissed.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I could see it either way. I would think, like, they strike me as, especially if you saw it out basking in that position, that
run
it
for
would be
cover,
far
right?
easier to not. It'd be far easier to not try and grab it. Whereas if you had like flipped it, obviously, then I see what you're saying about that slight elevation on the back end of the tail. That does.
Yeah, like
I could
right
also
there.
see that being the case too. So I don't know. It's a nice picture. Getting that blurred, cool background on the thing gives it context. So
Yeah.
I like the picture, and it's a super nice animal. So
Having been able to put Rob like stone photography shadow and stone photography light on my resume, I would say that is a very nice picture. So yeah.
And then
appropriately
another thing
credentialed
that,
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
that blew me away. Now that I'm in the process of the diamond python builds, right? Is
Builds?
did you see from Reptile
Buil-
Lagoon the picture that
Yes.
Ari
Yes.
put up
Dude.
as a monitor? Look at those barrows and that's cool. You'll probably never see them.
Well,
Unless
what
they're
was
out
this? What was
basking.
this for?
It's reptile. The
Yeah, but
Reptilandia
he
Lagoon.
said, what did he say it was Heloderma or?
I thought he said it was monitors.
I thought he was.
swore it
I don't know.
monitors.
I forget.
could
I
be
don't know
wrong.
what they said. But
But-
either way,
It's pretty
I
bad.
like
There
that
on that piece
cage.
of tape there.
What's that?
You see that piece of masking tape on the
Zoom in
left
on the tape.
window?
what does the tape say? Show this to no one. Oh, but
Maybe it'll do that thing like in movies where you zoom in and then you're like process
zoom in
and it
enhance.
just
Yeah,
creates new pixels.
That doesn't exist. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't exist.
Nope, wrong way.
No,
No.
that way.
Come on, Dad.
Oh, right there. I see it. Hold on.
Zoom in
I am
enhance.
blind.
Enhance.
How do you do these things? Oh, yeah, right.
Congratulations,
Look at you, Owen.
NPR. You found
Yeah,
the
Heloderma.
secret.
Or
Wow, that actually
Yeah.
works.
Oh, keep going.
Yeah.
It says something.
It says
Yeah, so,
Heloderma.
It says Heloderma.
Yes. Well, I'm
Could
glad
be
you're
the-
paying attention, Owen.
God damn it.
NPR network. We cracked the case.
We now, of course, we win that display. Now we can set up at their zoo. And was it and then I think Austin went down there or something like that. So
Austin.
not Austin. What the hell?
Brett
was it?
Ben.
God, Brett.
You
Why did I say
call him
Austin?
Austin,
He lives
Texas.
in
Ranger.
Man, it has been a while. My head is gone. But yeah, Brett went down there. He said it was awesome. And I want to go. Like I want to work that into one of the herp trips.
Oh yeah, Dustin had the Pilbarensis. We know Rob's feelings that they're not as cool. They're pretty, but they're not as nice as the old Kimbo.
Well, I was gonna put something on there just that like, oh, it's cool that you actually get to see it, Dustin, and presumably it's because because he's holding it. But I didn't want to rain on his parade. So, but yeah, I was going to mention that, like, oh, it's cool that you can actually see it. I guess you have to take it out.
Dark cloud.
There will be no happiness here.
Yes.
No,
It's
a beautiful
red.
animal. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Kimberly's
Yeah,
red
100%.
too, but okay.
I have one.
I know. What's the problem?
Just look at it. Jesus. Like, I don't understand. Why am
So
I
what are you
explaining
bitching
this to
about?
you?
Cyclone
Nobody's
Survivor?
bitching about anything.
I have 0 lizards.
We know.
I'm good with that.
But you have a squirrel and a tortoise.
For now.
The squirrel is not mine. The squirrel is not mine. I just live with it. Okay.
For now.
For now.
For now.
I told Eric before.
Here, Owen.
So Rob, I have the little box of mice that I set up with a little trio of mice, and my one female has an eye infection and a little bit of a swollen bump on her head, and any reptile person would be like, kill the mouse, get a new one. My wife has set up it is now on 3 different medications that it must be administered twice a day, and we have now separated that mouse from the other mice because it needs its own cage, and we're monitoring it closely for health reasons. I've lost all control, and now am taking care of a feeder mouse.
The good thing is, Rob, is that we know that if Owen ever goes downhill health-wise, we know he'll be taken care of.
No,
yeah, that's
she'll,
true. There
no,
you
she'll
go.
no. So I can,
That's the
I will,
silver
I can
lining.
go. I can go. The animals must be spared.
Yes.
I am expendable. So
Okay.
yeah, fun it is
So
giving
we've
eye
talked-
drops to a mouse. It's fun.
No. I'm not.
I
doing
would.
that.
I guess my question would be: so presumably she had observed this rather than you noting it and making.
No, I was an
making a point
idiot
of
and
it,
told
right?
her about it. Yeah. No, that was my
Oh
fault. I
my
said, that mouse is fucked up. And she's like, what? I'm like, shouldn't have said that. Should have just killed the mouse. Like,
Sorry, honey. I really thought that the king snake would make it feel better.
Last year, I was able to say these crazy thoughts out loud,
Not
and now I
exactly.
don't know how my filter doesn't work.
I need to get some sort of filter where I don't speak out loud from which animals are broken.
Whenever
start
Owen
keeping shit
goes
to
talk,
myself.
he gets an electric shock.
Dang.
Are you going to say that inside or outside voice, Owen?
Inside voice, correct. Yeah.
I did see a cool thing. What did your nephew come and get a corn
Right.
snake?
So my nephew, I don't know if you guys have this problem where you have family that they want pets and they ask you for your opinion and you tell them things and then they go the completely opposite direction that you told them to go into and then ask you for help with the new pet that they've bought that you have no idea what they're doing. Like my brother and his wife were like, we're thinking about getting Hunter a pet. I'm like, cool, corn snakes. I got a ton of them. They call me. They're like, so we got him hermit crabs. What do we do? And I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I have never raised a hermit crab. What would make you assume that I would ever do anything with a hermit crab? So they had these hermit crabs, and I managed to talk to a couple friends that I know who run pet stores that I sell snakes to, and they told me what to do. Well, the last hermit crab died finally, and now my nephew was a little upset, and they were talking about getting him a pet. And I said, well, I still have one more corn snake left. And of course, they are not going to allow the snake in their house. Like, it's not going to happen. So my nephew got to come over, pick out the corn snake, name the corn snake, and the corn snake will remain here because it is a female and I can use it for other things. So now he has a pet corn snake, but we're talking and he's talking about how he wants to get pythons next and I'll breed them for him. And he wants to get one of the snakes with the horn on it and that I can keep that there. And then when he goes to college, I'll just give him a couple racks of snakes. I'm like, whoa, kid, $40 corn snake, $600 rhino. What the hell is going on here? Like, what are you buying in here for? So but yeah, I've created a small monster because he's like, and what about Mort? When you die, can I get Mort? And I'm like,
Yes,
You can have him now.
Yeah, give it to him now. What do you mean?
Get the hell out of here. Like,
That's a blessing.
So yeah, he's very much into it. The unfortunate part is that he did name the female corn snake Bob. and he wouldn't come off of it. So now he wants to figure out what the best male is going to be for Bob, and he wants to set that up, and then he wants to do some other stuff. So he is ready to roll.
So what really happened is that Owen said that, listen, kid, you can have any snake in the whole place. And the kid went over and took his favorite corn snake. So he's like, shit, what am I going to do? He's like, here, how about you keep the snake here and it'll be your snake when you go.
But here, I would love nothing more than to drop off a corn snake at my brother's house. But the threats that have been coming down from my sister-in-law have given me pause. So, but whatever, he was happy.
Is she afraid of snakes?
Yeah, she hates them. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But he got a camera for Christmas. So he wanted a photo of every single snake in the place for his little scrapbook.
Yeah.
So to my great shame, after he took like the 5th picture of a carpet python, I went, all of these are the same. Next, like, let's keep moving, kid. So it was, he skipped over a lot of different carpets. So,
okay.
Yeah.
God, the carpets get the crap.
They do. Yeah.
Even now, Owen's giving them the crap.
It's slowly going downhill.
Thank God I still love them. At least there's one person on this goddamn network that still likes Morelia.
But hey.
Maybe I'd love them more.
You got
I had those ones you said you were going to spend like 2 years ago.
Until the next book comes out and they get moved, we're fine.
Dear, oh dear. I don't even know why we do this anymore.
Neither do I. I've just been locked in by contract.
Wait, what do you mean?
You guys get paid? No, Lucas.
We're 40 minutes in the new season. We haven't talked carpets once. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm in a jokey mood tonight.
Inland. That's a carpet.
Yeah.
That's a carpet.
She's really pretty, and I think she'll be big enough next year.
Okay.
See? Look, it's saying, pipe down, Woma boy.
Oh, Woma boy.
Woma boy, yeah.
I mean, woman boy, either way.
Pipe down, woman, child. Okay. Wow.
No.
Well,
I kid.
I like I want
Snakes.
Flinders range. That's what I want.
Hey, don't be creeping in on my territory, my friend.
Creep all you want. He can't draw lines and keep you out. Yeah.
Yeah. They are beautiful. Have you guys read the book? Have you finished the book?
I have.
Absolutely not. No.
No. Yeah. I'm not through it yet either. And I had it like a month before everybody else.
Nick is so obnoxious about it too. He's like, are you finished the book yet? The book everybody has, but nobody reads. Like,
I don't need to read it. It's over there getting value. It's fine.
Just look at the pictures.
I'm like, stop complaining, motherfucker. I bought two.
Did you get paid for it? Shut up. Like,
yeah, I bought it. It's mine now.
Quiet, I can do what I want.
Is he going to? No,
I mean,
he don't
someone who didn't buy it was trying. Eric was trying to give it to somebody, leaving in Australia. No worries,
No, it was Canada.
Headed to
yeah. Some Canadian was going to be like, "Oh my god!" Like,
I can't believe they let back on the plane for that, man. I really can't because I didn't think that was a thing, but apparently that's kind of a thing. Like once they're off, that's it. You don't. They don't
the security guy was
it's like, come on, man, I'm the NPR guy. Can't I please go on,
dude? I don't throw my weight around a lot, but I am Eric Burke of NPR. And he like pulls out like an NPR medallion. Like, that we're not allowed to show people.
Yes, Lisa, I did. Did you guys see the Living Zoology?
I did.
No, I did not.
I quite liked it. I like scrubs.
Scrubs.
That video inspired me to take out my male Wilmina.
Get more scrubs?
No, just say hello to the one I have.
Yeah, that did get me excited about
the like not for breeding or anything. What the hell is wrong with you?
Did you guys see on Instagram?
I have a pair, motherfucker. I'll kill you.
Don't you dare say these things.
The hostility tonight on the show. Jeez, we're not
Damn,
talking
I finally
carpets,
found
hostile?
it. I found the button.
So, did you guys happen to take a check at Matt Somerville's Instagram stories?
Yes.
Like, there was like 43 of them across the
Killing me, man.
Oh my god!
He's like, oh my god,
He's in
look
the
at all
Cape
these.
York in the wet season.
Well, he
Holy shit.
found all these adult green trees. He found them during the day, and then at night he's
then
just
babies.
walking over babies.
Yeah,
Killing me. It was gorgeous.
go ahead.
Yes, Lucas, your hand is
Lisa
up.
said, I wish scrubs weren't so huge.
Well,
Now, gentlemen, I ask you,
Mm.
needeth they be huge?
well,
Or huge,
No.
we maketh?
well. First off, Tannenbars suck, and they're the
Second.
smallest. So there's that. Moluccans, I love, and they're not as huge as people think. I don't think they need to be as big. But like to get
I'm
like
just
Barnecks and stuff, I don't know. Yeah.
Just saying. Nick's wild founder Wamina pair that he's produced 3 years in a row now, he said they're smaller than his adult Brettles. Like,
Nick has small animals. Shocked by these revelations.
I mean,
am.
yeah, but
Shocked I am.
don't
Shocked.
divert
So
from my
shocked.
point. Agree
think-
with me.
No.
I could be wrong, but I think that locality in particular are on the
It's
smaller
supposed to be
side.
smaller. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Come back to me when he's like, I got a is it giant? Flora
Lisa,
still?
I'm just trying to tell you, you can do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, in
males
terms of
other than mine.
non-Barnack,
Yeah.
stuff that, I mean, really, they're not that divergent from what she's got with the white lips. So, yeah, I think that's probably
Yeah.
right. Is that, like, I was going to say, compared to what? Huge, as a function of comparison to
Well,
whatever,
yes.
but compared to a white lip, I mean, there are
What were
plenty
the
of those
what were the really big
even
ones?
species that are not that different.
What were the really big ones that Dave Means had? Eric.
Yeah,
The
those are
one at
Barnacks.
Carpet Fest?
No, there was the
the
Barnecks.
Beox.
Yeah.
Beox,
What?
but
Yeah,
the
thank you.
Beox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beox. So, I mean, those were huge, but I don't think they need to necessarily be that big. But I think it's still a comparable python, like my olive pythons and things like that. It's still a considerable thing that you need to
I think
consider.
the Barnecks are big though. No, I mean they get big.
Right, I
can
mean,
be.
They're
they are
easy,
like an
like-
olive python. Like,
Right, so
olive
8 or
python.
9 foot, 10 foot.
No, 13 to 15, I would say.
I think I would shoot for 8 or 9 and see what that does.
Okay, or you could shoot for 13 to 15.
Listen,
See what
listen.
that
If when I get my new
does. I'm
facility,
not sure.
when
Yes.
Eric buys me my new facility, I will have space for Barnecks and
I
copperwood
wonder-
pythons. So yeah,
I wonder if I wonder if even the that's really been studied all that much in the wild.
fuck no. What's the point? Why would I do that? Where's the money in studying it? They're all scrubs
Yeah,
in
like
the bin, in the
Brandon,
box.
he
go.
has a 12-foot
You're
southern.
a scrub.
And Lucas
Well, and
goes
even the-
into
I mean,
time
some of
out.
it though too. Is just, are we defining size based on outlier maximums on something that's super old, right? Because even when they had gone, Dave Barker and Cameron and that whole crew and Chad, when they had gone to Halmahera back in the 90s on the front end of those, well, preceding the description of them and stuff, I believe in the Halmahera skinning station, they had the skin of one that appeared to be about 15 feet long, which, having kept more than plenty of those, I mean, that's massive. And anytime you're talking about a skin, right, those can be naturally stretched out and stuff. But either
Yeah.
way, that would be that animal would be bigger than any that I've ever seen, but could easily have been 40 years old. And 40
Yeah.
years old, talking about that from something that was dead, had been long dead by 1996 or whatever. You're talking about something that was born in the mid 50s.
Mhm.
And doubtless Halmahera looked a lot different and probably supported those animals getting a lot bigger, at that point in time, just human population densities and all.
My take on scrubs is very much like my take on Owen Pelly Python, where it can be long, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like thick. So you kind of got to keep that thing going. You also have to see what the animals eat. But then there are those outliers that get huge because those are the ones that picked the best spot and got big. Like I remember there was that one picture of the Owen Pelly python that we saw before we went over there. That was just coiled up in the parking lot, and this thing was massive. Like, and it had a huge head and stuff like that. But then all the ones that I've seen since, and the one we talked with Gavin and stuff like that, they always seem thinner bodied. And I think the same thing kind of goes with scrubs, is that, yes, you can have the outliers that get huge, or even like that water python that we found in Darwin, where it's like, okay, you can have outliers that get huge.
Pineapple fed rats.
Exactly. Is this a good breeding specimen being so large?
Right.
So I don't think so.
Particularly in captivity, right? I mean,
right,
because there's
exactly.
so many more inhibitors on that compared to even a wild one. But that being said, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think if that water python that we saw, well, either as a male or a female, yeah, probably would not be situated to be a super reproductive animal, right? With all those fat bodies that are in that snake. It is a female, you're probably not going to get real vitellogenesis, getting the follicles to the right size, to, you know, maturing at the right size, just with the way the body cavity was so filled.
Right.
And if it was a male, it's like, well, I think the thing just likes eating pineapple fed rats. I don't think.
Right. Exactly. You know, that's just not working either. So.
Whereas the one you found at Fog Dam, right?
Right.
That could easily be a mature, or at least, you know, a young but mature male.
Yep.
I was just watching the video of that the other day.
Yeah.
That happens.
And I mean, that's what, you know, 2 inches, an inch and a half, 2 inches across, something like that.
Right. Exactly. If they just keep it, again, if there's one set up at where food is abundant, they're not going to refuse it. And if maybe winter's a little bit easier on it, winter or whatever the downside is in the middle of the botanical gardens in Darwin. Yeah. So, but I think we definitely get to the point where the animal, and I'm guilty of it too. My olive pythons got big enough to eat guinea pigs. I got them guinea pigs. And then my olive pythons became fat. And then it took me several years to fix my olive pythons. So I think once we're like, it's big enough to take a rabbit. Should it take a rabbit? So, yeah.
Well, even then, if you gave it, you know, a young, giving it non, you know, old sort of retired animals, if you're giving them a young guinea pig or a young rabbit or whatever, that's fine, but you better not feed the thing for 6 or 8 weeks. Or
exactly.
You know,
that's
like giving it that every week is a different story.
I have found doing maintenance feed, and then when I warm them up, give them a small meal, and then I tend to give them something a little bit on the larger side, like to kind of trigger that food is now in abundance. Like I usually give some of my animals that are on medium rats, I give them a large rat or something like that, just to kind of give them that one bump up. I did that for the white lips this past year. She was on medium rats the entire year, but then just because I didn't have enough medium, she got a large rat when she came out of winter. So
I think that the problem that I'm having, and I think this is where this conversation always kind of gets crazy, right? Is like, what's a large rat to you
versus what's a large rat to other people? Exactly.
A large rat to me.
And the size of a large rat has changed over the years.
Yes.
When you can add more sizes and charge more.
Right.
Like that's now
and
an XL
now
colossal.
I think
like
it's
yeah,
more like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, because I just recently, I remember I just did a rodent order, Owen, for what you know, like what I'm used to. Again, the sizes, not that different, you know, but still, what I would consider, what I usually get from is different than, you know, I don't know. Should they do that? Should there be like a set size? Is that
good
possible?
Luck trying to get everybody to agree to that. Like that would, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, when you say everybody, right? There's like 3 or 4 major players. And not talking about like your buddy down the street that does rodents for you.
Right.
Would it really be that hard?
Yeah, well, then what the problem is that you'd have to have some kind of
put a measure, like when you order it. There's a picture against a ruler, against some
or a gram weight or something like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking weight wise more than like, you know, size.
Oh, it should be between a certain set weight. Like if it weighs this much, it's a this. Yeah. So
100
and that
grams,
does,
you know,
and that does give you like we all get the bag of small rats, and we have some that are on this side of that line, and then we have some that are kind of a little bit over on this side of that line, close to medium.
Some are
So,
like Owen,
right.
some are like Eric.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's the same throughout every feeder. So,
Right.
I don't know. Find your person, because we've all talked about this before. How sometimes we send snakes to each other, and we're like, it doesn't like the rats that I have. It grew up eating the rats you have, so it's going to take a bit to get into the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Rob, you have a thought on that, because we've talked about that before. About, my question was, why do my snakes not like black rodents? And
Right. And it's not anything to do with the color. It's not intrinsic to the color. It's what the color is telling you, which is that's a different line of mice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And especially if they're coming from, like if you're getting them from one supplier, right, and you get one bag that's all amelanistic mice, and then you get a bag that's black mice that aren't even, they look different. They look different. They feel different. They'll have different hair texture. Even their body structure is different, because if you're talking about something like Swiss Webster mice, the standard albino mouse, that they have, it's not only the color, right? The color trait that they have, they're inheriting a whole bunch of other things as they're being line bred. For the most part, with rodents, people don't want to actually outcross, because you actually see outbreeding depression a lot of the time in terms of captive rodents. If you breed them to something else, then those that survive, right, you can actually have it come back and get that diversity where you've then got different colored mice or whatever. But if you're talking about sort of standard lineages of mice, it seems like those black ones in particular are just a little disfavored. I don't know that they seem to be smaller, not produce as well, seemingly, even contrasted to just sort of the party mix mice, where you've got sort of cow looking ones and piebald mice or whatever.
Right.
Is what it actually is. Piebald mice, or the brown ones, the ones that are almost orange. Those ones seem in general to be a little bit more diverse and better and received better than the black ones. Just always, some of the places you get those frozen, and they just never look that appetizing.
It's
to the extent that
weird.
mice ever do. The black
It's weird
ones just
because every single mouse line that we breed for food at one point was developed for laboratory shit. So and that was the whole point. These things were designed and bred to be good
Model
for
organisms.
these
Yeah.
studies. And that's what they do. And a lot of them are still in use. And otherwise we wouldn't see all the uniformity. So it's kind of weird that way, thinking about it on that side.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, I guess the point being, right, that the color is just an indicator of where it's in most cases, right? I'm sure someone could point out, oh, I actually have my colony is a combination of those two different things. And so then it's just a mix of those two over the last 10 or whatever years. But for the most part, I think when you're talking about those suppliers, that means that they're getting it from someplace else. And it might mean that it's actually lab surplus, which isn't inherently problematic, assuming it's frozen well and all. But it doubtless smell and taste different. And it could mean, in that case, like Eric, in the case that you had, it was like, oh, you had a business that was expanding, and maybe their orders were exceeding their capacity, and it might mean they were coming from someplace else entirely that uses different shavings, feeds a different diet, maybe cleans at a different interval, all these different things, so that it was just like, oh, it's not the color, it's that potentially it's telling you all those different things.
The smell, the taste, it's something else throws it off, which, again, I know people are like, all my snakes eat all the mice. Like, yes, okay, but there's every once in a while there's an outlier that's got a hang up. Like, it happens.
Well, even that Rob sent me was like, oh my God, that was just painful to eat. And a couple things. Number one, even just the size of the mouse, knowing Rob and how he feeds, I thought about it, and I was like, oh, let me try a smaller prey item.
Yeah.
And it took it, but it was just, Rob breeds his own rodents, and that's must have been used to that scent or whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
It had, like, dude, I had that one rough scale that would not take rats, and I had to get like retired breeder mice that were the size of weanling rats, and that was the only thing I could get her to eat ever. And then I had my one Macklot's python only wanted birds. Put him down for winter. He came back up from winter. This is a rat. You're not getting birds anymore. And then he started eating. So it sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feed them whatever they want.
Yeah.
Lisa was saying about how hers are eating chicks lately. Carpets never refuse birds. Seem to always. Yellow bird, black bird, white bird,
fish,
green bird.
Yeah. Got no feather bird. I'll take it. Yeah.
Right.
There's I found a store near where one of the reptile shows is down in Oaks. It's one of those like ethnic kind of supermarket things. So I have a ton of chicken hearts and all this other stuff that I'm getting ready to go with. So, yep.
Nice. The other thing with that, hold on, let him pull it together.
Nah, give him a minute.
Well, just your two spaces where like Owen's like, I went to this ethnic supermarket.
Did it pause?
No.
I was just waiting for you to say something.
What? Jesus.
Something cancelable.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Like, so much good snake food with the Oriental market.
Oh my God.
I
no.
can say it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
So the point with that Tully too, though, would be, Eric, if you remember, the reason that I had gotten that from Nick is because even he couldn't get it to take frozen. So it was that particular animal is just a picky pain in the ass. It was supposed to go to someone who, was buying 15 or 20 things or whatever, and they only wanted things that would take frozen, and he couldn't get it on to frozen even at, I think he probably sent it to me at 8 or 9 months old, right? I mean, it had some decent size even when he sent it. And he was like, hey, dude, make sure you can feed, live. And I was like, yeah, there's no worries or whatever. But so I think there's something intrinsic to that one in particular that makes it,
I don't know, man. I think it's that line. I had one before, couldn't get it to eat. Same thing. Nick sent it early on. He was having the same type of trouble. So he figured, maybe if I send this to somebody type of deal, it'll get going. And at least it'll still be here. Because I think he's been having, I don't know where he's at now. I think he's breeding I think he's at the point now where he's breeding some of his holdbacks from years ago. But I know years ago he was having trouble with that, getting them to produce, where like 1 year it would produce like a couple eggs, and then the next year it would be like 5 eggs and 4 of them would go bad, and on and on. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I would say it's probably not coincidental that, certainly they're not eating domestic mice and gelatin,
Tully,
or these are Palmerston or wherever, Tully, but I mean, even any of that range, right? And though the fact that Tully looks so like Scott and Ty's Tully, it's pretty interesting. And that's probably part of it too, right? Is that you're talking about something that undoubtedly is not as many generations from a wild animal that has no exposure to eating those mice and stuff.
You need to be on point if you're dealing with something that is not that far removed from the wild. That shit is going to be a little weird. Like, I still have to scent the blonde Madagascar hognose babies food with chunks of frog. Otherwise, they're not going to eat those pinkies. And that's just the way it's going to be for a while. Yeah.
Man, Owen, I was pretty disappointed. I picked up Sorry, Rob.
No, go ahead.
Gosh dang, podcasting. I got a big bag of frog legs, and nothing I have here wanted to eat them.
Really?
Even the water cobras were like, me.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do to those things? Like, I mean, frog legs, I have carpets that will eat a frog leg. My shit here eats all that.
I had carpets eat drumsticks. I had things eating cross sections of catfish, whole catfish. But the frog legs, they were like, meh.
I gave one of my carpets a trout, and she exploded it all over her cage. So I'm thinking I'm not going to do that again. So that might be a colubrid only food. So yeah.
So wait,
high oil content.
She bit it and she wrapped it, and in the force of this very large young Owen carpet python, it eviscerated. And there was trout on the walls and the ceiling. And then she ate what was still attached to the head. but then I had to get this switched on looking for food carpet python out of the way so that I could clean her cage because the entire basement smelled of trout. So
Yeah.
So that reminds me, Owen, I don't know if you remember this, but we can go into a reptile links discussion. I was talking to somebody about those, and lots of complications or thoughts or not things to bear in mind that I think maybe people don't think about beforehand. But exactly fitting into your story is when I fed the female Halmohera a large venison and veggie mix one.
right.
And or maybe that was just a pure venison one, but she bit into it hard. An issue of feeding scrub pythons reptilinks is that they're not necessarily they're meant more for things that'll walk up and sort of walk
just kind of chew it. Yeah.
as opposed to something that'll hammer the crap out of it. And so she did, and evidently found it distasteful. So she had now ripped open a bratwurst size venison link, gotten that taste in her mouth, and then just started whipping raw venison all around her cage, and was trying to expel it, trying to get it off of her teeth, and then I then had to deal with removing her and to clean raw ground venison from within the enclosure. So that I only tried it the one time. Weirdly.
That and check. I think a big missed item in the supermarkets would be I get a lot of chicken necks. They have them in these nice tubs, and that is a tube of chicken that can easily go down a snake. That is.
I fed off my turkey neck.
Exactly. Like I had my father-in-law gave us the turkey neck from Thanksgiving. It's in the freezer.
Perfect shape.
I'm waiting for something's going to get that later, but it's necks. I think are a great thing that can be easily gotten. I have a vacuum sealer, so I get them in the big tubs, divvy them out, seal them up, freeze it up. Yeah,
you get them in tubs, really?
Big tub of necks.
You can get a tub of necks at some of these places. Tub of necks, tub of hearts.
Did you get that at the ethnic market too?
You can. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look in the order book and see if we got tubs of necks and hearts. And
next time I go, I will get you some. That's fine. I got.
My snakes won't eat the mice. You want me to feed them necks?
Yeah. That's the other part is that I've had a snake. I had a snake that wasn't doing well, and you need to force feed. Neck, right in there.
Yeah, that's actually.
What size necks are? I guess they
come in.
I was like, I don't know if Eric has this.
Whose necks are these?
They're chicken necks. So, and there are some that are longer than others, but you can chop them down to smaller. So,
I finally got my Ruffy back on food.
Good.
After like 7 months.
I'm not disappointed because you were going to send them to me out of frustration.
Yeah.
So how did you do that? What was the final?
I just was like, oh yeah, sometimes things like live things, and so live mice done.
Yep. Sometimes that works.
Yeah.
What do you want to say, Rob? What do you want to say? No, I'm just kidding.
You didn't
I just wanted the context of I don't know that I've heard it. So like how obviously it wasn't a hatchling, right? To go.
No, it's my 2020 female from Nick. She ate frozen fine the whole time I've had her. Is like nearing adult size, and then just said, "I'm done with freezer food." So I don't know.
That it's like a season out. Well, 7 months from now. What? So that midsummer. So it was just kind of warm, and then went off for being in the hottest part, and then didn't restart basically.
Yeah, until I put a live one in there. But
Roughies are like that sometimes.
I don't know.
Did she go right for it? She go right?
Oh yeah, she ate 2 of them. She was a bloodthirsty murder.
Yeah.
Tube.
Yeah.
What's crawling around behind you there, Owen? Yeah, very
That's
good.
a Ruffy, right?
Ruffy. Yeah. That's my boy.
Okay, I figured.
Yep. So
are you breeding them this year?
Well, he's in there. I don't know what he's doing.
Eric, he's trying.
Shut up.
He's trying. Okay.
So I was hopefully going to have 2 females ready this year, but my one girl did get sick and was on meds and off food for a while. She's better and now pounding down rats, but I'm not going to be like, you're better, Winter. Like, it would just be like, I think, stupid. So,
well, yeah, the weather here has been insane. Well,
I fucking hate it. It's like it's 62 degrees.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cyclone Survivor.
He's fine. But
Good.
yes, so the male is in with one of the females because they both shed.
Have you seen
and then
any
they were-
action? Are they
Nothing.
together? Nothing.
They've been ripping around the cage, him and her, especially when they're separated, because I did pull them so that I could feed her again. And they were both nonstop moving. But now she's tucked up in the corner and then he's just ripping around. So I'm not sure if he's scenting the other female up top. And because knowing my luck, the female I don't want to go is going to end up ovulating. And the one that I do want to go is not going to do shit. And here we are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
2023.
yeah. Trying.
I think
trying.
you guys'
If you
thoughts
liked
on
white
this.
lips, I could get that could help you.
I know we're early, but I feel like
Yeah.
this is going to be one of those years. I think this is going to be one of those years
What is
I'm curious
one
to
of those
see.
years?
where people breed the shit out of everything.
I'm curious to see if, because of all that weather that you guys got on the West Coast, that the West
If that
Coast
changes.
really crushes it this year as opposed to the East Coast.
I feel like that
Yeah.
happens sometimes where the East Coast has a better
Yeah.
season than the West Coast does. And
I've
vice
just
versa.
been
You know, it's
feeling it
implanted
in my bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're seeing a lot of action too, right?
And then,
I
and then
mean,
there's Rob who gets snow.
No,
in
no.
June.
It's
So,
the
yeah.
bones.
oh, the
The
bones.
bones?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So somebody's going to get bones this year.
You think
Frederick got a luck, didn't
so? I had a thought, right? I'm watching a video of timber rattlesnakes, right? And this guy, excellent documentary this guy did about the life of a timber rattlesnake. And basically he followed around these timber rattlesnakes for an entire year up in New York, Vermont area. And he was at the den and all this stuff. Now, as the females would go to the den, they would head back up to the den, say like around October when the temperature starts to drop. But one of the things that he noted was that the females all come out of the, I guess the what would you call it?
Hibernacula.
Yep. Okay. Hibernacula.
Hibernacula is what I
La
thought.
or
Rob?
lum? Okay. All right.
Lum?
So I think you're just in a singular versus plural.
Okay.
Oh.
I think
Gotcha.
would be my guess.
So anyway, they would come out of the hibernacula and they're sort of like basking belly up, which I've never really seen anything but a python do that, which I thought was interesting there. I'm not saying, I'm sure that's probably normal to other people, but I've never seen a colubrid rattlesnakes do that or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Never seen anything I've bred do it. Yeah.
So the thing is that she, at that point, I believe, is already mated and is going to go in, and she's basically going to be building those babies throughout the hibernation. No, am I wrong with that?
No, I think that's correct.
I think that's right.
Then she comes out in springtime, then she'll have the babies, and
well, I think they
circle
have
of life,
they're
blah, blah, blah.
they're going to have the babies when it makes the most sense to have the babies, when they stand the best chance of surviving. So springtime is probably the right time to do it. So
right, but
yeah.
I just found it.
So I think the answer is that it's variable. Sometimes there are some species that will overwinter or mate heading into the fall, and then there are others where certainly there are newborn babies in August or September in places that then are basically shutting down before they even get a feed. So I think it's just.
Do you think it has something to do with the mountain range? Like the more the further north you go, the more it's going to be around springtime type of deal, and the further south you go, which whether they're cane breaks, I guess at that point, lowland,
right,
rattlesnakes or timbers, whatever you want to say. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting that she was basking like that. As you can clearly see that this snake was grab it, or she ate a big squirrel or something. But I'm thinking it's probably she was grab it, or she would be pregnant, right? Rattlesnakes are not eggs.
Rattlesnakes are live babies. Yeah.
What was it?
Oviparous.
Oviparous.
See, it's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
I know.
Are egg laying, right?
Right.
Live
Yeah.
are live birth. But
Yeah.
So it got me thinking with like
that
bulls
timber
and
we
stuff.
saw was gravid. That
Yeah,
first one,
the first one, the black
first
one, yeah.
one that we, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Remember?
wasn't that around September, October? Or that was
No,
the first
that
time
was,
we went.
That was the first time we went. Well, maybe it was then, was it? Was that later?
I think so.
I thought
I
that, I
I
thought
think
that
it
was
was. I think
later.
it was the end of August, September, somewhere in
Okay.
there.
Hold on,
Yeah.
somebody might still have that picture on his phone.
I know the ones we saw the original time we went when I went with Matt and Zach. That was in September,
Right.
end of September, beginning of October.
I think the first one was August. Yeah, I think August is going to be right.
I think Rob is correct. I think August is.
But I mean, that was heavily gravid.
The second one we saw was July, when you guys
Yeah.
were up here the last time. The one that was in the
In the crack?
and all we got was a really good eye. You are correct. It was August 10th.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when
So
would Steve
presumably,
probably?
I would think that one made it in the spring. Would be my guess based on their timing,
Right,
because I
okay.
think the cycle would take longer if they're going over winter, right? Because they don't have the to the extent that their capacity is reflective of their energy
Mm-hmm.
availability. I would think that, because I think they're probably only like in that, sort of boa range, that around 100 to, I don't know, I guess I would say 90 to 135 day or whatever, which is probably, from the spring, but that would be if they're able to get access to heat that whole time. Whereas if they're overwintering, I suppose it could double that time.
I guess. Well, the ones that they were talking about were specifically from like further north up in New York,
And then
probably close to the place we went with Tim.
And how does that change it? If further north you get, does that mean you have less time?
I guess it's cold, right?
Yeah, so you're going to breed definitely
higher
gonna
elevation.
breed- yeah.
To your point, that actually would make some sense, right? Probably on those where the acceptable season is shorter, you're probably more likely to see that stuff where they're breeding heading into brumation, and then
And then
cooking over winter, as they so to speak.
And then is basking belly up a necessity at that point? Because it's kind of, you got to warm up those babies more than you would like. And that's always something where people like, they never catch their animal basking belly up. Is that because it doesn't have to do? Like it seems to be get the even heat in the eggs or babies just by the heat in the cage. And where we do see inverted animals is because they need to do a little bit extra to make sure that the things are warmed properly.
That makes sense, except when they do it, but they have belly heat.
All right, I didn't say that we're the smartest animals on the fucking planet, okay? I just said, they feel the need to do it. Like,
well, I know rattlesnakes and
Sorry.
pythons are. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
I was going to say right there, that's why we used to see such bad burns on ineffectual heating elements like the hot rocks and stuff. Is I think their belly scales are not that attuned. They're not used to the sun being in the middle of the ground,
right.
So they're not
What's it doing down here?
programmed to respond that way. And then I don't think their scales have great feedback to tell them that that's the case. So I think, to your point, Lucas, it doesn't make any sense in a captive context, but it sort of does as a reflection of their natural history.
Certainly, yeah. And that's to Owen's point too. It's like, they'll do it either way. Whether
listen, a female carpet python,
right.
She will lay her eggs in water. Okay, like some of them are just idiots. So,
so where I was going with this was I thought it was interesting to see there had to have been at least 10 to 12 females out there doing the same behavior, so obviously it must be something that they need to do. I would imagine. And I found it interesting that the guy was talking about how cold the ambient temperatures were. However, because she was directly out on this rock, and you could clearly see the sun was going in, and I want to say he did some temperatures, and it was pretty warm, where they were basking. But I don't know, it made me think like the whole Boland's thing, them being Montaigne and whatnot, if that's something, maybe I'm sure that people have tried this, but maybe it's just a matter of like when you're doing it. Like maybe there's something to that, like as she's going, like with pythons, we typically think of once she's gravid, you add heat, right?
Mm.
What if it's opposite, to where when she's building the follicles and before she goes into winter, if you will, she would need that to sort of get that going. And maybe that's why you're not seeing them ovulate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Two quick thoughts. So one,
Yeah.
taking us back to the earlier part of the conversation when you mentioned the weather and, maybe that making the West Coast more productive this year, snakes on the West Coast. I guess the only, and maybe to put a pin in this one, but the idea that I was thinking when we were having that conversation is, I suppose the only key would be that the volatility we're seeing aligns with the season where you'd want to be pairing them, right? So you're getting all this crazy weather, and that seems to line up with when they would be cycling normally to be responsive to that. If you were getting off-seasonal crazy weather so that they were getting those stimuli at the wrong time, so to speak, then we might see the opposite where everyone has a crappy year because it's just sending mixed messages the whole time, right? So hopefully this means it's timed up well and that volatility is actually, kind of promoting them at the right time as opposed to sending, as I say, if they was sending those signals at a time that they were not paired, they might be getting confused about that. In terms of your point there, Eric, 100%. And I think Keith was the one who was talking about it before, that one thing that has been thought is that because they probably have such infrequent opportunities to bask, and as black snakes at high elevation, they're designed to really maximize it, that the key might actually be that people are overdoing it because they're programmed, in the same way that a West Texas snake wants to expose itself to water whenever it's available in captivity because it's intrinsically programmed to do that because they don't often have water.
It's not normally available. Yeah.
We might have bolins that are over basking and basically cooking their follicles because it's available if we're making it available even 8 hours a day, which might be less than other people are actually offering it, right? That actually the thing that would make the most sense would be to crank the heck out of it for 90 minutes a day,
and then
within
kill
these
it.
windows, and then to kill it, or at least if we're talking about sort of super radiant heat and UV exposure, right? That's the thing with all this. We talk about the UV exposure stuff, and especially in the context of UVB, especially unmediated, so that we're probably getting some C in there too, that it makes me nervous that we're actually overdoing it, right? And our goal to always be offering it, that we're actually over offering it, and whether we're cognizant of that. I think it's easy to say, oh, they need UVB. And I do think a lot of, if you Bill Strand, the Chameleon podcast and all that, there is a lot of discussion around like making sure that the level is appropriate, testing it, and trying to put in that effort to not overdo it. But I think that's something that we need to bear in mind, or we might be seeing tumors and things in bearded dragons because you need to have UVB on there, and it's the 5.0 sun blast the shit out of them. It's like, yeah, probably after 2 or 3 years, that consistent overexposure relative to what they would get in the wild, where they would get, right, their goal is to heat up as quickly as possible
and then get the fuck out of there. Yeah.
You see it in captive monitors and stuff too, right? They don't just sit under that consistent when it gets too hot, right? They'll bask for a limited window and then go hide, as opposed to if it's never quite hot enough, then they'll sit there all afternoon long, which clearly isn't what they do in the wild.
Yeah, we always seem to give overabundance of anything for a captive animal. Like even when it's down or none. We either do this or this. Like there is no middle. So the problem is that it's finding out where the lines are, and also an animal that can survive necessarily will not breed. That's the other part of it too. Like, so this animal is fine. Okay, we've already established it. That just because the animal is a healthy weight or looks healthy doesn't necessarily means it's going to be a good breeder. So that's the other part of it too.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just something I saw. I just figured I got my brain thinking.
What was the color of those bellies?
Yeah.
I think it was more like the poison ivy's type of belly, right? They were white, but they had speckles of dark down belly. I'll have to
Everything
go
goes back
and
to
relook
poison
it.
ivy bababies, you know.
Always, come on, pop one.
White lips kind of like a more black poison ivy baby, right? Yes, Eric. Jesus Christ.
Correct.
Oh, and Pelly's like a
Correct.
long
How about-
grayish poison ivy
about-
baby.
How about Nick's melanistic jungles?
Yeah, that's kind of like a jungle poison ivy baby. Yeah.
Correct.
I didn't see it. Did you just post it?
I haven't seen it either.
I
Can you
did
pull
it
it
a
up?
while back. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think before he left for his trip to Thailand.
That trip.
Or...
Yes.
Lucas has heard all the things. Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
all the things.
I've heard all the things from Chris. I didn't
Yeah.
hear them from Nick.
Owen has
I
heard
probably
nothing.
the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good that Chris made it home.
Owen and I were both just a little astounded that so Chris is sending us pictures and all, and then tells us where he was, and didn't fail to realize that he was in the place to go find a rhino rat snake, and not only
didn't
did
find
they
a
not
rhino rat
find one,
snake.
they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, not only did they not find one, he didn't even know that was on the table. I was like, that is literally the place that you would go
That
if
is
you wanted to
it.
have a
That
rat snake
is
to
the
find
spot.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Guy's
about
probably
it?
stepped
And then
over
Chris said,
12
"What's
of
a
them.
rhino?"
Yeah.
What's that?
What's a rhino?
What's a rhino?
A rhinoceros? They wouldn't be here.
Yeah, they're in Africa. What's wrong with you?
Jesus Christ.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
But where is the NPR episode about their trip? I mean, we definitely need.
well, we're just
I think
getting
the
back.
community
Listen,
wants-
listen.
I know.
You
I
gotta
know. We've
keep
been
some
slacking for a
stuff
few
for-
weeks,
for
Rob, but
future seasons. Jesus Christ.
Rob, you're so right. I've been telling him to get back to work every
Kiss
day
ass.
since the
You
holiday
shut up.
show.
You shut
He
up.
has.
Slackers, Eric, like, my
Yeah.
lungs, and Owen's like,
stop
Oh
bitching.
no, I hit the button again. It's so weird.
Yeah. I didn't think they found that much, Lisa.
I
think they
didn't.
found it. What'd he do?
Nothing. I don't know. He did nothing. They found a mangrove, which was cool.
Mangrove, yeah, a couple of them.
That's
I think some
another one that I'm
geckos
like,
and stuff.
that's another one. I'm like, do I need Boyega? How much trouble would I be in if I got into Boyega? So
no,
it
bad Owen.
I had
You
them
get
when I was a
bit
kid,
all
man.
the time.
They were feisty, man.
you're telling me you're. Well, I'm sorry. Are you trying to discourage me or push it forward?
I'm not trying to do
It's
anything.
a feisty,
man.
evil
I'm
snake
just
that
telling
doesn't
you
like to
facts.
breed. Go on.
Yeah,
Go on.
yeah.
Black and yellow
How many? Yeah, okay.
They're black and yellow.
Uh-huh.
or green,
They
right?
don't mud out.
There's
They don't-
several.
they don't- yeah.
The albino ones look pretty.
How dare you? God damn.
I said it. I said it. I said it.
You ruined it.
I said it.
Eric is flaccid.
What the hell, Owen?
I mean, I don't really know what the Lucas is going to go into timeout
that was-
again. So it's
That was unexpected. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
Jesus.
That's where you guys draw the line.
Yeah.
This is the
Oh,
line.
that's
you-
the line.
Aren't you glad you found the line? Yeah.
Yeah, they do need a Rob Stone, Lisa. This is true. Yes. You have to have a stone. What would you call this? A stone produced herp excursion.
You have to have a stone. Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Is they went there without having like the Rob Stone handbook of what you're going to do in this area to maximize your ability to find animals. Because like, when did we go to West Texas, Rob? And like the only thing we found was was that Texas? Yeah, it was Texas when we found the Atrox, and it was like cold as shit, and we're like, nothing is going to be out
Boy
here at
Scout
all.
Road?
Yeah, and we
Boy Scout Road?
still found the goddamn Atrox. It's like clearly, like if we had come here at a different time, they'd be teeming with rattlesnakes.
I do have a question about the West Texas trip, Rob. Remind me.
Hmm.
When we went with Owen,
Hmm.
we didn't go to the not the hamburger place, the
hamburger
pancake place that didn't have syrup, right? That was with Phil and Justin, right?
Yes,
Schmitty and
I don't
Justin?
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys also found like a blacktail and were tripping over rattlesnakes, and the only one I got was the Western Diamondback. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Pancakes without
You ever had
syrup?
pancakes without syrup,
Yes.
Lucas?
Yes.
Why
Yes.
would
Well,
they?
listen,
It's
I would
horrible.
say that
Why
Imagine
would
they didn't tell you
open
that
their
until
doors?
you ordered them and brought them to your table.
Why would they not be like, "Oi, I would like pancakes. We're out of syrup is the next thing you say. Like
No.
this,
No, they didn't,
not at
Owen.
this place. Not at
good luck
what,
chewing
2:30
this,
in the
you
morning.
fucks.
In the yeah, I don't think you have the context of the place that we're at. I mean, this was certainly it was the only option. Certainly, it was the only place that was open. It was the only place that was open past 8:30.
That's where-
Right? I mean,
I
it was
feel every
literally the
time
only option.
I feel every time we go to those places where it's like this is the only option, the level of food tends to go down because what are you gonna fucking do? So
Well, that's exactly the point, right? That's exactly the point. Is that it's like, oh, we don't have syrup. Well, what else are you gonna do?
yeah, what else you got? What else you got?
Yo, I ate those damn biscuits with. I took it down, man. It was.
God, that's just
alright,
got to be like
you know?
so dry and
biscuits?
like, come on,
Oh
man.
my
Yeah,
days!
that's got to be horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my stars.
Oh, Nipper's
I think
gonna
we went
punch
there
the
3
two of
nights,
you.
what, 2
in
or
the
3
throat.
nights in a row.
Mate,
Maybe it'd be like Nipper would be like these.
It was like 2 in the
pancakes, they're
morning,
just
I think, Rob.
these, or do
oh,
they call them?
mate.
Do they
I
call
don't
them
have syrup,
flapjacks
mate.
or?
Just put beans on them.
Yeah. These breakfast cakes are just far too large.
Oh,
Mate, this is
it's not
And actually,
pancake
I-
atin,
it is
bruh.
It would be fair to point out that I think, Eric, you had the same thing the night before, and so really it was your fault they didn't have syrup because you ate it the day before.
I did.
They only had a
I
limited
didn't.
supply.
I'm sorry, Rob. I
You
didn't
didn't
know
eat
there was
syrup.
a limited supply of syrup. If you would have told me, I would have ran better the day before.
what was. I think one of my favorite Ron Swanson quotes is he's like, "Bring me all the bacon and eggs you have. Look at me, son. Like I said,
All
bring
of
me
it.
all the bacon and eggs you have." Eric's like, "I'm going to need all the syrup you have in this place."
And it was only 2 little packets, but it was true. It was all they had.
that
And then the
that
next day, they
man
had
took
nothing.
our entire
Okay.
month's supply of maple syrup.
Are
Yes.
you
2 packets? Yes.
are you
Uh,
boys fans of hash browns?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So would you rather have to like body an entire plate of pancakes with no syrup or an entire plate of well-cooked hash browns with no ketchup?
Oh, you bitch. Okay. I'm gonna be like, you just throw ketchup on the hash browns.
When you say ketchup, what about hot sauce?
Yeah.
Are you
No.
Are you taking
no,
all condiments
You may
away?
not have condiments.
May I have salt?
There's
and
no
pepper?
butter on the freaking pancakes either.
Oh God, Rob, that's the funniest thing I ever heard.
Caramel. Did you get your caramel? Caramel.
Wait,
iced
they don't
onions.
have caramel in it? Oh, I'm not
They
eating them
don't.
things anymore.
No, that's
this is
stupid.
bullshit. I've been robbed.
Or is it caramel? Which one was the Nipper accepted one? Caramel or caramel? Caracal? That's a cat.
What we say is not the accepted version.
Caramel.
Caramel.
No, okay, come on,
Mate.
come on. Dry pancakes or dry hash browns? Don't leave me hanging.
Dry pancakes.
I'd go for the hash brown.
I go for the hash browns.
All right.
I think there'd be more moisture in a potato.
Yeah.
At least the hash browns offered 2 textures, right? Usually you're crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. Your pancakes are just going to be mush.
That's it. Like, you see all these
And they
eating
work.
challenges. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. Like, you see all these eating challenges. It should be stuff like this. It's like, you must eat this entire stack of pancakes with no syrup. It's like,
Oh,
fuck you. Yeah.
well, for Card Fest. So one of the things I did get for this holiday season is a Blackstone grill.
Ooh.
That sounds nice.
So
We can have
Carpet Fest
so
is gonna
many
be on there.
caramelized
Arm
onions.
hair on.
Yeah.
so
When
we'll be
Matt
making
Boyle, his
breakfast.
concoction.
What's that?
Well, Matt Moyle pulls
When-
up the
when I took
steaks.
Matt Boyle's concoction. That
Oh,
something
yeah,
else
yeah,
he
yeah.
would've just
Well, the
totally
steaks have been
renewed my arm.
marinating in oil and stuff all day, and he
Okay.
throws
Oil,
those things on the
yeah.
grill and then get back because your eyebrows are going. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna
No,
get a
he
good
doesn't
sear
throw
on
them
these
on
steaks.
there. He has the monkey throw them on there.
Ah.
And yeah,
The monkey is
Yeah.
me, a very hairy individual. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't go near grills. I would go up quickly. So, yeah.
Blackstone, that's like a griddle situation almost.
Yeah,
no?
it's a flat top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it's the
See,
real deal,
we're all
man.
set. See, now
In
all
my
the good-
family white elephant game, I got a cast iron griddle that goes on top of 2 gas burners.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Nice. I learned how to
anyway.
I learned how to caramelize onions. So, dude,
just
the
throw them
onions on the
never mind.
Blackstone grill.
Yep. He's like, I have a he has a constant supply of onions just there, ready to go, just in case.
No, I can even do the trick with the smoke that comes out of the onion with the alcohol. Put it in there. Yeah, it's gonna be hibachi grill, man. That's gonna be hibachi
All
grill.
we have to do now is just pick a goddamn day.
Yeah, well,
have you ever smoked out of an onion, Eric? You know, like the kids use an apple or something. You know, like if you
not an onion. No,
not
I've
an
done
onion.
it out of an apple.
I think you need to do an onion.
And Eric's
for you in
onions were
particular.
far too expensive. That was rich people food.
It's like if you see one of your staff members drop an onion into like the gutter on the street, just be like, don't throw it away. I'll take that.
Just back and smoke out of it.
I'm
gonna be like,
where is there a gutter running through his store? Like,
I don't know, Owen.
His store's in Philadelphia, not Detroit. So yeah,
I'm gonna say somewhere out west.
Is that far?
Arizona. Which state has the most rattlesnake species? I'm gonna say
it's gotta be out west.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because most of the ones out here only have like one.
Maybe Utah. It's gotta be one of them.
It's gotta be Arizona, Utah. It can't be California, right? Because
It's not
a lot
Utah.
of
No.
you lose a lot of
I
species.
think that it is
Keep in
Arizona
mind,
with
it's gonna be
13.
Arizona?
Arizona with 13.
How quickly did you Google that there, Lucas?
Not as quick as I would have if it was the Reptile Fight Club trivia contest.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Many on
No, we
Arizona.
never do trivia. So
I
13.
think we should do trivia.
Arizona.
I would come
No.
up with good questions.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Dazzle me at the holiday show or the anniversary show. Dazzle me with your trivia.
I'm going to talk about a carpet for a minute because in the
We should
wild
probably
carpet,
do that. Yeah.
oh shit, did I close it?
Well, never mind. That was a fun little jaunt down that little lane, and it's
Inland carpet for 2023. Look at this thing.
I'm waiting.
it's getting there.
I don't see it yet.
I mean, I believe it's that snake there in the middle of the tree.
Ah,
Oh, there's its
hey,
head.
that do be a eucalypt.
That's pretty
Eucalyptus
cool,
tree.
huh? Just chilling
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
Nice
Yeah.
red.
I like it.
Red River Gum.
So it's what was it?
No, it was just something that Eric and Rob and I were always home among the gum tree, and then just
Swing.
Eric, can you zoom in for me,
Sure, I can.
Yeah.
please?
Zoom in, enhance. Yes, that appears to be a snake.
Looks like it's in shed.
How the
Nice
hell did
red.
you tell that?
I love inlands. So,
So do
do you
I.
think that snake had to swim to that tree, or was it on the tree and then
And
there
then
was
the
a
water
flood?
showed up. Yeah. Ah, shit! Like, oh
Now
God!
what do I do?
How did the record scratch? You may be wondering how I got here.
Yeah. What do I do now? Well, it's sit in the tree. I don't know. Maybe 6 of 1.
Yeah, it's I think it's in Wiernia, which this is kind of
That's not a real
Eric,
place.
I was just about to say I don't know how they pronounce it, but I promise you that's not right.
It's in Narnia, I hear. What?
Well, how would you say that? Wiernia?
Wiernia is what I would think, but
Narnia. Yes.
I call them Jasper Wally Dingoes. Yeah.
I don't even want to attempt this one up here. This
Caruana
Duel.
God.
Well, Eric, you actually raise a good point there with the Australians adding letters that don't exist. I was going to say, well, there isn't that extra AN that you just put in there, but then again, that's what they do. So
Yeah, for all we know, he's closer than
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Rob, I've been studying. I'm learning. I'm learning.
I'm
Just
learning
down the
to
road from
He's learning to speak.
Boo-boo-ba-dooba-land.
He's learning to speak the language. He's become an expert at knifey spoony. So it is just he's all set, and ready to go. Yeah.
So Robert wants to start a Northeast Monitor Fest. Do
I
it.
can't go.
Do it.
But yeah, that's how everything
that'd be cool.
starts. You just do it.
Just do it. I don't know. Should we even? I mean, we were going to talk about our top favorite 5 reptiles that we've kept in our
We
lifetime.
should still
I want to
do it.
talk about it. What
Yeah.
do you mean? Are we
Yeah.
Why
really
are we
gonna
not
talk
going to
about
do
it?
it?
It's only
Okay.
the 1
hell's
hour,
wrong with you?
39-minute,
We
26
were promised several
27,
things, and now you're going back on
28.
it.
second
Okay.
mark.
God,
I'll
Let's
make my
do
list right now.
lazy ass. Oh, it's been an hour 30. End the show.
You said
Uh,
5?
I'm not saying that. God damn it. You guys are feisty tonight. Are you microdosing Owen on
I
fucking
don't
squirrel?
know anymore.
On
Let's-
squirrel droppings?
I'm not.
This is what happens when I'm left to my own devices for several weeks. We should never let
see
this
that.
happen again. Yeah.
We will not. We will
Yeah.
regroup much sooner. I thought, let's do a show early, like
Let's
super
leave
early.
him
so
be.
that-
Oh, no,
yeah,
no,
we'll give him
sir.
some time off. Didn't work well.
Top 5
Rob,
species.
top 5 species that you've kept in your whole entire reptile career.
Rob's kept everything.
Yeah, I know. So it's gonna be tough for him. Maybe we should circle back.
Mate.
So let's circle back, but what relative to what? Meaning most
It's your
enjoyable
favorite top
that I
5.
like
Your
something?
favorite top 5,
Okay.
how you would rank them. Any way you'd like
Okay.
to rank them.
From your very
Okay, we'll
first
swing back.
reptile to your current reptile. Oh, and go. Top
Okay.
5.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I got to get my list. So number 1 is definitely rough scale python. Because
Okay.
obviously for the reasons that we all know that I love rough scale pythons.
Okay.
Story, the fact that they just look freaking awesome and that they're different than a lot of things. They're in a class of their own. So roughies, number 1. Number 2 is white-lipped pythons because again, their head structure is different than a lot of things out there. They're a little bit more aggressive, and there's something that a lot of people tend to shy away from just because of what they are. So
What was number 2? White
White
lips?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I've merged golds, blacks, and I'll even throw rings in there because that's
Just
all they
the
are is
group.
fun colored
Okay.
white lips.
Yep.
So,
Very good.
third is carpet python, and I have here in the note, if I don't mention carpets, Eric will yell at me. So,
Okay.
so,
Let me take a hit
third-
of my inhaler.
yep, carpets, because they're obviously were my bread and butter. Obviously, my first love when it came into python species in general, and they're a really great intro into a lot of species because you can take them as a great springboard into other stuff. If you can successfully do carpets, you can move into other things that might have been a little daunting for other people. So that's there. Number 4 is rhino rat snakes because they taught me that Asian colubrids are not as scary as I originally thought they were. And they're just a fascinating, really cool creature. And I wish I'd gotten into them. Like, I remember that one Tinley Park where Rob actually brought rhinos. And I'm like, why didn't I make him send them home with me? Like, that was really fucking stupid. Like, it was one of those things where I regret not doing that sooner. And they're a cool species. They're a great display species. They breed well. They keep you on your toes. Because even if you get a year where it's like, cool, all these babies are eating fish scented pinkies in a couple weeks. I'm still going to be nervous next year because none of y'all are going to do what I want to do. So, and then after that is Timor pythons, because I think they are one of the most beautiful pythons in the entire world. And again, they're just something that a lot of people don't work with, and they'd much rather do like a retic. And it's like, but if you're going to choose between the two, how could you pick a retic over a Timor?
Okay.
There you go.
I'm with you. I like it. You really are a python breeder, Rick says. Very good.
I like the dream of being a python breeder, but unfortunately, all I can keep doing is colubrids. Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Lucas, or do you want me to?
Yeah,
go?
I'll go next because I really have to pee. So I'll pee after I talk.
Just do it while you're. No, please no. Like, I was
Number
kidding.
1. Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know?
I'm guessing
I'm gonna say
Woma or
blackhead.
blackhead. It's an Aspidites of some
He's
kind.
a black-headed
Yeah.
python.
I knew it.
I don't need to explain myself to you people. Number 2,
Nope.
Woma. Number
You couldn't
3,
combine them? Oh.
the Eastern Indigos.
Okay.
Mm.
Number 4, Fuscus.
Fuscus. Oh, interesting.
Fuscus.
Okay.
Number 5,
You wasted a spot on Fuscus.
Brettles. My Fuscus, not your Fuscus.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Queensland Fuscus.
The nice Fuscus. Ah, yes, of course.
And then
Better.
Brettles.
Yes.
But I
And
almost said
Brettles.
Waminas instead of Brettles.
You
but then
chose Fuscus over olive pythons?
I like your olives, but I haven't had enough time to like put them in the top 5. It's only been like a month.
Listen, man, we don't have
Send
to
them
hate
back.
people
Yeah,
for
give
what
me
they
back
like.
my olives. Yeah.
They like what they
Yeah,
like. You know, what I
Eric,
mean?
he's being mean.
Oh my God. Chalk it up to keep a list of all the things that I was mean about. Okay. That's what the holiday show is for. Not you, Eric. Him.
I'm leaving.
All right.
just speaking to the sock puppet. Mark Hager in the house. He's ETP all the way, and Australia.
And
I
I mean, Mark, you can like. Never mind. No, it's fine. You don't have to branch out. It's okay.
Clearly, everybody knows my number one. So, do I have to? I mean,
Yes, you do.
I have to say what it is.
Yes.
I mean, carpet python. I can't pick one. I can't pick them. So, to me, I'm going to go Owen's route and say they're all just different forms of the same thing. So, carpet python. If I had to pick the one that has probably captivated my interest the most as of late would probably be diamonds. I think that's only because I see them in a naturalistic type of cage, right?
Okay.
So I'm sure if I saw other carpets, I'd probably feel the same way. So that's number 1. Number 2, Kimberly Rocks. Kimberly Rock monitors.
Okay.
Yes, there's a lizard on my list. Number 3, Moluccan scrub pythons.
Moluccans.
Beautiful pythons.
Yeah.
I wish I
have any
still had
currently?
them.
Oh, okay.
I don't. No, I know. I don't.
I wish I still had some. Those would be awesome.
Number 4, rough scale pythons. Obviously, same reason Owen said in the story that the fact that you have them and can have them, and they're just cool snakes. Blah blah blah. Number 5. This is going back to when I was a kid, and it's still one of my favorites of all of these. This type of North American viper, Eastern Diamondbacks.
Eastern Diamondbacks.
Yes. I would not recommend keeping them. However, this was the 80s.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a different time. But although I wasn't really one to, I never handled them or anything like that. I did stare at that age day and night. They're just so cool, man. Their heads are huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very impressive snake. So, okay, you're up, Rob.
Cool. Well, some commonality across the lists. My number 1, you can probably guess, corresponded to Owen's number 4.
Wait,
Rhino
what's your
Rattlesnake,
number 1?
It's rhinos.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you were going past it. My bad.
No.
No. Well,
It was my number 4. His number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've kept them for more than 20 years at this point.
Jeez.
And it's the only thing that I've had continually throughout that time. So, yeah, definitely. I think they're super interesting. And then all the positives, Owen, that you brought up, and just if you're talking about, about as hardy as they come, super cool, super adaptable. I've tried over, that time, done a whole host of different ways of keeping them, ways of feeding them, ways of breeding them in terms of brewmating them or not. So yeah, 100%. Those would have to be there. My same as you, Eric, number 2 is Kimberly Rock Monitor. I do think they're the best Baranid going. I was impressed with Scott and Ty's Parentes though, especially that they clearly they're basically just oversized desert glowered eye. Same body form, same sort of interactivity. whole different kettle of fish, no doubt. But yeah, that was definitely super interesting to see. So different from the other heavy body monitors in the talking about Corentes there. But definitely want to see the Northern Territory. Well, want to see both, but thinking that the Northern Territory glowered eye are probably not glowered eye if things are looked at, realistically. See Glebopalma, which are the close relatives. Yeah, that'll be a hope. Number 3 would be Puerto Rican boas. Kind of a similar deal in terms of a story that goes with it, in the sense that that's something that I think for my second Reptiles magazine, well, it was certainly in the 1998 sequence. Maybe it wasn't the second one that I got. Maybe it was from the fall, but there was a story in there about them, and not in the captive context, because that's as a Endangered Species Act and CITES 1 animal from
had not happened.
From the first time that from the listing, right? They're an early 70s listed species. Was something that was presented. It was somebody in Puerto Rico talking about them sort of in that context, and just something that was like, wow, that seems so awesome, but I'll never be able to work with those, and that's actually not true. So it's kind of an amazing, amazing story. Not necessarily like the rough scale in the sense that, oh, no one has this, but almost.
Almost.
Number 4, Solomon Island tree boas. They're so different from basically any other snake that I've ever worked with. Certainly Candoia carinata, they have some similarity too, which is unsurprising, but they're just so weird. They're very personable. It's always funny when people say, oh, they don't bite. Well, that's not entirely true even during the day, but during the day they are, essentially turned off. Whereas I think it's actually probably similar to Bungaris, to a lot of the crates and things, where during the day they essentially, are just shut down. And you see a lot of the free handlers and stuff that are the Instagram free handlers messing around with them and stuff. And it's like, yeah, cool, bro. Okay. Go in there at 2 a.m. with the light off on a red light and just do the same thing. Nowhere near as brave as you like to play on Instagram, but
there's a reason I do all my cleaning during the day. Yeah.
Because they're totally different. It's just like anyone who tells you, oh, my Solomon Island tree boa is totally tame. It's like, cool. Go in there at 10 o'clock after the lights have been off for 3 hours and reach in and grab it and see what happens.
Try at night when stuff's moving. Yeah.
Yeah, they just have about as hard of a day-night differential as anything other than a crate, basically, in terms of what it's like to interact with them. Totally awesome, cool animals though. Males being so much smaller. There's a whole host of, they are keeled. A whole host of different things about them. And the last one, I figured we'd mix a python in here. I did actually think, again, this is all about what is the characteristic that we're using to define our list here. But I did think about Timor Zoan. I did actually give that some thought because they're certainly beautiful. I love the way they feel. But there's a lot of bummers that make them not something I enjoy keeping, although I tried 3 or 4 different occasions. But
there have been several times I have cursed you for letting me buy your Timor pythons off of you because their affinity for tubs has led to several wonderful chance encounters where you open the door and then you're bleeding. And then the other part is that if they do come flying out, now they've pissed all over you. So there's that whole thing. I cannot wait to get those 2 into cages where I don't have to touch them.
Well, you won't see them, but you also won't have to touch them. So yeah,
yes.
I hear you. I mean, that was literally the whole reason. Is I was like, that was the 3rd or 4th time that I had at least a pair, and it was like, okay, I'm going to make it work this time. And then I tried to put them in cages, and it totally stressed them out, and they never came out, even at night, and just didn't respond to it. So hopefully you have better success with that than I did. So I didn't go with that though, and I put Hallmeyer python. Something that I've had 25 or 30 of them over for varying lengths of times and things. And in terms of scrub, hey Lucas, I'm not anti-scrub python. I like scrub pythons. Scrub pythons, nighttime shift.
Dark now.
Like
it turned.
Addressing
night
me turned the lights off.
Yeah,
I have to be in my feels. I'm dark Lucas now.
Yeah.
Now you're dark Lucas. Okay, very good. But yeah, that's certainly my favorite scrub python. Although the wild king horny hay Scott are seeing those in the wild was something else. But I suppose if you made it apples to apples seeing a wild homo hair python, I'd probably feel about the same way. So I'm going to put those there.
Cool.
Good
Okay.
list.
That's a good list. Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's all good stuff.
I like Kathy's list. Peter's
That's the
Bandit
problem.
Skinks making the list. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's the problem. We could
Yeah.
easily take this from 5 to 10 very quickly. Like it is.
yeah. It's just I mean
to get the
we've all
sock
kept multiple species over the years. Some more than others. I think Rob's probably the most.
What
Hey,
annoys-
it's me, Owen, that actually tells the truth.
What's annoying is that when it comes to, I've loved the fact that I can do this now. So I would love to get more Timor pythons because I do have just the pair and I have a lone adult male now, but I'd like to move that up. But it's like the prices of Timor pythons are almost pricing me out of adding certain animals to my collection. So
It's almost like if you synced it up there, it would be.
no, you stop that. I'll remove him.
Let me tell you, alternate Owen.
So
No, come on. Eric, make him stop. This is going to be funny. Alternate Owen's top 5. Number 1, colubrid.
okay.
Number 2,
Which one?
colubrid.
Ah, there it is.
Number 3, coastals. Oh, what's that? They're not coastals anymore? Shit, another colubrid.
Some are coastal still. I do have Brisbanes, so
I'm just kidding. I'm done. I'm
Mhm.
done.
The top 5. 2 more.
that's only 3. Keep going.
Okay.
You chose this.
Blue Barons Racers.
Number 4, corn snakes.
They do sell nicely.
Yeah.
Number 5, squirrel.
He doesn't-
Squirrel does not a reptile, doesn't count. So,
If
Oh,
non-reptiles counted, that'd be number 1.
you could have said sulcata, and that would have been acceptable.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yep.
What the hell's hanging from its mouth? That's the beard, Robert.
No, I think there was a piece of string hanging out.
This is a very
You can
old
see
sock.
because
Yeah.
of your dark background.
It's actually
No.
I put it on top of the mic as a free pop filter. Eric, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I can do a lot of P sounds, and it doesn't like explode.
There you go. Yeah, I
But-
can send you a real pop filter if you want one.
That's okay.
He doesn't
All right.
need one. He
Owen
doesn't
is
need
my pop filter now.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, he needs one now. I've changed my mind. Oh, sweet God.
Well, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. It does look wrong.
Riley, why are you Riley? Stop it.
That's right. I do have that power. I just haven't used it yet.
He's going in and out. What's going on?
I
here?
don't know. I'm not touching anything.
We do.
He's
have
Oh
turning
no,
his
the
own thing on.
cyclone's back.
That's enough.
Oh, you gave him the boot.
Yep. Yep. I did it. He can come back when he behaves.
So we're back. Let's see. Podcast wise, we do have a cool NPR coming out Tuesday. That's going to be the one we did with Scott Board and Mike Curtin.
Mhm.
Honest look at the reptile hobby. That was like a month ago, right? Owen?
Yeah, it was.
We did that at the beginning of
that
December,
one.
right?
We had to postpone that one because I had COVID. Because we were
Yes.
supposed to do that before the holiday show so we could take the break, and we ended up doing it after the holiday show, and it was going to be the first episode back when we got back. So yeah, it has been like a month or so now.
Yeah. We talked
somebody-
about things like, the fact that, there's 10,000, what is it? What was the number? I can't remember. 10,000
Mhm.
members, the U.S. ARC, but yet there's millions of reptile keepers across the U.S.
Right.
How are we not getting those people and understanding, these things.
we
So it
also-
seems like USARK is just we got to get it into the average pet, the person that has one bearded dragon or, one corn snake or something like that. We talked about, go ahead.
I mean, we also took turns playing devil's advocate with each other, which was fun.
Yeah.
Like it was like we kept posing questions of how would you do this, and then all four of us would be like, so it was one of those things.
It was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Because we didn't always agree on things. However, I think the thing that I took away from the conversation was the fact that we had a civil conversation, and it wasn't like we took things personal. And that doesn't really happen in the world today. It's like you're either in camp A, you're with my tribe, or you're with their tribe. And if you're not with my tribe, you're dead to me, type of thing. And it's like you never find common ground with anything with that kind of attitude. And I don't know. So we have that. After that, we have Ryan Presto was on. So we have that in the wings. We got a Herp History with Tom Crutchfield coming up. Yeah. We got a Boland's Roundtable coming up with Ari, Quetzal, Keith. So that should be.
I got to brush up on my Dominican red mountain boa hatred before we do the Tom Crutchfield episode.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. And then I'm gonna try to salvage it, but the doctor and Matt Most did an episode on mandarin rat snakes. Right up your alley, Owen.
God damn it.
And the problem is that Dr. Loafman drops out right in the middle.
Yeah, I heard about that. He called me
about
his audio issues.
What is with these freaking
Lucas?
Gen
Where the hell
Xers
were
and their
you? Why
audio
didn't you fix
issues?
this?
What's going on?
I don't know how to fix it.
Jesus Christ!
Last time Eric fixed it.
You're fired. No, you're done.
Yeah.
You're fired. That's enough.
Yes.
Well, are you
I'm gonna
happy,
try to
Riley?
salvage it.
Are you happy, Riley?
I'm gonna try to salvage it. So it's the beginning of the episode is pretty good. Zach had COVID, so he's sort of coming on the other end of that, and I don't know if that's why his mic stopped working, but it sounded like it. From what I heard so far,
working when I had COVID.
It sounded like a great. Well, you're not smart enough to say that, I guess. So that's why he's a doctor. So
are you gonna be doing any of the natural history episodes this year?
Maybe.
Yes.
What would you like?
Actually, I'm working on one for water pythons right now.
That's the one I was gonna ask.
There you go. Yeah. Water pythons. They're brown and mean. Anyway, tune in next week. Yeah.
I like to first start with species that we actually saw in the wild, so we can actually talk about what it was like in the environment, and then move on to hopefully by the time we check off the ones that we've seen, we can move on to we can find more.
I don't remember.
Actually, by the way, I put a list together of all the snakes that we've seen so far on our herp trips.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive, man. I know we're no, we're no Mr.
We're not
Pringle.
Nipper, where it's like I only need
Pingle.
one more species, and then I have all of Europe.
Or Nipper over in Europe, seen every species. But have you ever looked at that, Rob? Like all the species that we've seen on the trips together, just all the pictures together.
No.
It's pretty cool, man. You should
be good for the coffee table book. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's really cool.
You guys just wait till I come along. I'll triple your results.
And we won't find anything. We're like, whatever, bringing this kid again.
I'm telling you right now, Lucas.
I thought he was a snake doctor.
Lucas, not to scare you.
I'm a biologist.
I'm not trying to scare you, but if we go on a herp trip and the only thing is different is that you're here now and we have a bad time, you won't come to any more. So
no pressure.
No pressure.
Nobody has ever had a bad time in my
I'm just saying, if we don't find any animals, we're all going to be like, what's changed? It's very much like a baseball team, okay? You don't mess with the juju.
Yeah, Quetzal should be cool, at least for sure. We haven't been able to talk to him.
In a while. Right.
And they got the new Replandia going on. I'd like to get there at some point.
God, I want to go. It looks so good. I want to go and just leave my resume certain places for Ari to find it and be like, "Will you just?" But I have to convince
Please
someone
take
that
me.
we need to move to Texas.
I don't
So far,
think
that's.
squirrels are illegal in Texas, though. At
I
least
mean,
not
that's
your
a plus.
squirrel.
In that, listen, that fact is a plus in my column and a minus in hers. So,
Yes.
you know,
Who will win? You want to take bets, guys?
I don't know. There's no point. We all know what would happen.
That'd be
There's a
pretty
reason
sweet,
a mouse
though.
is being medicated downstairs. So
That'd be
yeah.
pretty sweet if you could swing that, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you know squirrels live to be 25 years old? And
Oh my God!
did you know that? I did
I
not
did
know that.
not.
The college
I
fund?
did not know that. That's the record. I'm kind of hoping he just dies.
So you're telling me that squirrel's gonna outlive me?
God, I hope not.
I'll be like 70 something, bro.
And I'm still be pissed off at this squirrel that doesn't move. Yeah.
We really will be like the old Muppets up in the balcony.
Exactly. I know. That's
There's
look,
goddamn
listen.
squirrels
Sooner or later, we're gonna get there. Let's get there. Yeah.
Eric, right now on the record, do you want the squirrel to attend your funeral if it's still living in a cage?
I think I,
mean,
do.
It can wear a nice
Okay.
tuxedo.
I think I
So,
I think I do.
Everybody, it's on videotape.
I was.
One of these
I don't know if
days,
my
that thing's-
wife would feel the same way, but
Well, your funeral, your wishes, my guy.
okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
All right.
So we're back in the swing of things, and I'm going to share this real quick, Rob, just so you can get a feel for it. And some of them are missing, but we'll end on this.
You're going too quickly. All right.
It still hasn't even loaded for me.
That doesn't matter. We don't. Okay.
I tried to get the snake and the environment.
Copperheads. Timbers. Owen. Owen Pelly. The environment.
I
More
got a lot of-
environment. Don't show that part.
More
yep.
environment.
Children's, or that's the stimmy.
No, that's a children's.
Children's, right.
You have my attention.
There's a blackhead.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I was going to point that out, right? So I was listening to the pre-break Carpets and Coffee, and I really felt like, Eric, you missed the opportunity. Both you and Owen really missed the opportunity to point out when Brett was on that I just felt like there were half a dozen opportunities to say, well, two of us have found a black-headed python in the wild. And you guys really let that fly by.
We're not allowed to taunt the guests. I was told that. Like it was.
Remember that cool snake?
What is it? Is that
Yeah,
is that the night snake or?
No, that
No,
was
it's
that was
the Central Texas snake.
Oh, okay. I wasn't on this one.
Western Diamondback.
Pantilla.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
There's another. There's the timber jammed in the rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, there's a lot here. I hate that.
And
you
that's
guys
not even
got-
all of
I
them.
hate that you guys got sidewinders without me, and those rock
Well,
rattlesnakes.
we got what,
I am-
11 of them or something?
I
Yeah,
am
mean,
still
crazy.
mad that I missed that trip.
Yeah.
When is Utah?
May.
May?
May.
Fuck. All right, send me the dates. I gotta see if I can take off, and then buy a plane ticket. So
To Vegas.
Okie dokie.
I gotta sell some mad hogs and stuff. But yeah,
Okay, that's all we got.
right.
Till
enough.
yeah, we'll probably do a live one-on-one NPR probably towards the end of the month. And everybody else will start putting out their stuff, and we'll get back in the program. Carpet Cliff Notes will be out. The episode, and remember, this is geared more towards like a pet keeper type of thing, like ask a question and answer the question. And that'll be out the next Sunday, which I think is the 15th or the 16th. Something like
yeah,
that.
I think you're right.
That's all I got.
Cool. I got nothing. We're getting ready. I got no shows coming up. I think I might be vending February Hamburg with Balin, but that's kind of still up in the air. waiting for the weather to change. I'm not updating the website until it gets warmer because that'd just be stupid. So check back in a couple months.
Let me back up 1 second. Calendar link will be in the show notes. So a
you
lot
can
of
go
people
get your
been messaging
calendars.
me. The link will be in the show notes so you can do it. All the winners, they're all coming towards you. All the
NPR staff.
NPR staff, they're coming to
Yes.
you. Did you? I think yours got to you, Lucas, right?
Yes, it's hanging next to me. In fact,
Whoa, Lucas got his. Owen did not. What the fuck?
I got yours,
Yeah,
Owen,
mine either, dude.
because
Owen,
What
Owen
in the
2.
What
got
in the hell?
his.
I got yours over there.
All right, so I got to come down and steal it.
Well,
All
or
right,
I
fine.
come up, one of the other.
Either
I thought we were
one.
going to Keith's at some point, so
I would love to
thought-
go to Keith's. Like,
Yeah.
let's just not tell him and show up.
Let's also
He
not tell
invited us.
anybody that
What is he going to do?
inland,
Turn us away? It's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
the inland,
The
carpet
inland
isn't
winner's
the
not
one
right?
that won.
yeah. That's my fault. What are you gonna do? I was.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Thank God it was you.
No, I'm
not
asking,
somebody
what
else.
are you going to do? Yeah.
I sent the calendar. I was like, "What do you think it looks?" He's like,
Did you guys
don't-
disqualify
well,
me without telling me?
Yeah, did something happen to my
We
picture?
did have
and
a
I was
meeting,
like, "Wait,
yeah.
Lucas won the inland one."
Yeah, somebody changed their vote, and yeah,
So, okay.
we had a meeting and decided we didn't like that, Lucas, so we changed it.
Right.
Yeah.
A meeting
Yeah. So,
without
have those.
me?
and then, yeah. So, everybody's their calendar should be on the way. So,
Cool.
Love to hear it. I still have Brettles and highlighter jungles available.
Please get them out of here. Yes.
Right.
Please make them go away.
They're very pretty.
I did.
They
I
are.
Want
did
to see
pair.
Lucas on the Utah trip? Then please buy these snakes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, there it is.
Yes, if I go to Utah, then there's chance of video content.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
We need that.
I'm slowly
Shit.
learning. By the time you make it to one of these trips,
Yeah,
I'll have
you
it
might,
down.
not be needed.
It only took me years to learn how to podcast.
Listen,
so,
you
know what I
only
mean?
have you only have maybe 3 to 5 years to get your ass in gear to get over there before he figures that out. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
it may be more now that the drone is involved, but you got to hustle.
Dude, I can't wait to use that. Ah,
Yes,
sweet.
MPR1.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. So that's all I got. Anything, Rob? You got any closing words?
No, when you picked up the drone, I did half hope that you were like gonna feel it in your bones that you were gonna throw it up in the air and smash it into the ceiling. Just
Like-
comic
like
book
I-
text, like oh, just like that.
I already did.
I want to know
I
why
take
the
it out
drone
the
doesn't
first
have
day.
some sort of sweet paint job with teeth on it and
I wanted to
MPR1
have
scroll.
the Eddie Van Halen, the guitar with the red and the white and black. That's what
Yeah.
it would be looking like, right? So I take it out and I'm like, I push the button and it's saying like it'll warm up. So I'm thinking it's just gonna go like this. Zzz.
And you're
Nope.
just like,
It goes
"Go!"
zero. Clearly, I didn't read these directions.
The instructions say, make sure you're outside. Aha!
Dory
Like, it was-
says, "You broke it already." I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm sorry.
no, I
honey.
didn't.
So
Let's
All good.
tie a cane toad to that thing and send it. flying.
Whoa. And that's enough. End the show. Quickly before we get this in trouble.
Oh!